On Conscious Crew, welcome to another riveting episode of the Consciouztv platform. You already know what the hell we're here to do. Before we get into it, please go ahead and run them likes all the way up. You guys know that thumbing up the video not only helps with YouTube's algorithm, but more importantly, it triggers up YouTube's notification system. So when you are thumbing up the video, you are literally knocking on the digital door of another Conscious Crew member and telling them to get their black asses into the sanctuary, baby, because the king is motherfucking king. And once again, it unthaws the motherfucking algorithm, okay? YouTube is playing on YouTubers' head tops right now with notifications and all of that, so we need all of the crowd support we can get, okay? On this YouTube, so please swing and bang and bully the hell out of the live stream. You know, there have been moments on YouTube where I have like worked my ass off like consistently and consecutively, but I really don't ever recall going this hard. I mean, I have really just been banging the hell out of the last 2 weeks worth of content, girl. Like, the content been contenting. I'm literally a content creating machine, child. I feel real good about myself. Y'all feel good about it? I feel real good about it, baby. We're really working over here, all right? Also, speaking of working, if you enjoy all the work the Kane does, you can always donate to the platform at $Consciouztv on Cash App and or PayPal.me/Consciouztv. And of course, that's Conscious with a Z on the end, spelled just how it is here on the channel. All donation information and social media handles are in the description box below. Also, make sure that you guys are subscribed so that you can be active in the comment section, because subscribers only is always on. She doesn't miss a beat. Matter of fact, we're almost to 53.4K. All right. So shout out to all of the newcomers. Love y'all down boots. Also, make sure that you guys have your notification bell set to all so that you never miss a day or hour when the King, the Fat King. And last but not least, please share the stream out to wherever it is you have digital community. But that be your YouTube community wall, your Snapchat, your MySpace, the dark side of Twitter, Tumblr, or your personal OF. I don't really give a damn where you in fact give a link. Just let them know the real out live and in color. And with no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, what's going on, Conscious Crew? We got quite a bit to get into, girl. 164 pages to be exact. But now that I've looked at the actual pages, the pages are short themselves. So I don't know how long of a readathon this is going to be, but we definitely going to be getting a readathon on tonight. Before we do so, you guys know that we went live and in motherfucking color, baby, and got into more of the Dominique Morgan files. That the Okra Project themselves opened up, girl, in 40 whole minutes of explosive commentary, receipts, the whole nine, baby. I mean, just flat iron Poe Dominique, baby. Turned her curly 30-inch bust down into a 30-inch bone straight, baby. Put the flat iron to that ass, baby. It was something serious. However, we may be live and in color with Miss Gabrielle herself at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? She's just getting some more confirmations, and if everything goes how it's supposed to, baby, we're going to have Miss Okra here tomorrow, live and in color. She's going to be speaking on some key elements of the controversy, etc. We'll be opening up the floor to allow the viewers to pose questions, etc. Baby, it's a whole thing, chat. It's a whole thing, girl. Okay. Shout out to Jaya, who you guys know came through as well to give an exclusive to the Conscious Crew, girl, regarding her situation with Dominique Morgan, baby. We over here working, y'all. And I love this because we staying out of trouble, child, by minding everybody else's business. Okay. Is that all with the church announcements? I think that is. Make sure that you guys, once again, are subscribed, have your notification bell set to all, and be checking the page for that watch page, because then you will be able to come in, thumbs up early, put your set reminder on, and so YouTube can notify you, when it's lights, camera, and action. And I will be loud, live, and in color, baby, looking as fabulous as I always do, alongside Miss Gabrielle. All right. Now, let's get into why we're here today. There's been quite a minute since we have gotten into the DL Whisperer files, girl. You guys know that T.S. Madison mother, okay, banished this bitch into the depths of the abyss, girl. Casted all type of ruby and pearls and Harry Potter spells on this motherfucking bitch, and she been in the chains, girl, ever since, baby. And I told y'all, that's how you know, girl, this ain't just a legal matter, because it's the extra suffering that's layered on top of the sentencing that lets you know, girl, that there's a supernatural element over this girl, because not only has that bitch been stripped, girl, from his livelihood, but he's apparently being stripped from his constitutional rights, girl. He's just being gang bang, let me not, because YouTube be doing the most, girl. He being taken through there while he in this prison. So we got to give you guys an update on what's happening with him from inside the chains. And then we got to get into this hearing, because I got access to the transcripts. And we're going to be able to hear directly from the courts, girl, what happened directly in the courts as it relates to this courtroom showdown, girl, from T.S. Madison, who was loud, live, and in color, baby, in her heel, girl, okay, at the podium, while the DL Whisperer, baby, was live streaming his performance on the Jumbotron from the chains once again. All right, but before we do so, I got to bring in one of my favorite handy-dandy co-hosts, and of course, one of my closest compadres, Bubs the God. No stranger here. Hey, Bubs.
What's going on, baby, baby, baby? What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
Apparently, everything is going on this side of the baby.
Oh,
The streets are streeting tonight.
Okay, the freaks come out at night, and we getting all of the tea. You see the screen? You see the nigga on the screen, girl?
Let me blow you up.
Yeah, blow him up. Hey, how y'all doing? What's going
Sure.
on? Now, at least with him being where he's at, hopefully he'll be able to get some experience on the DL shit, because some of those insecure ass women over there invested in you, so hopefully they will make good on their investment once you get out, if that is the case, if you ever get out. I don't know. We don't know.
Isn't that interesting that he specialized in so-called exposing DL men, and then God gave him an intimate view as a zoologist?
Baby,
put his
come
ass
on.
right there on the other side of the fence, baby. For
Trapped.
an infinite,
Ain't no way out.
close,
Okay,
front
force.
row examination, baby,
Okay,
of the
ego
phenomenon.
death with the booty hole, girl.
Brought her right into the center of the storm.
Okay, so hopefully, again, there will be some information that comes out of this situation. No shade. Because there will be information tonight. I hope y'all ready, baby. I hope y'all, it's a Saturday night live stream. Is y'all ready?
Because speaking of tea, girl, I had kindly just skimmed through the files before we went loud, live, and in color, and I saw character witness letters in here from Angela Stankin, child.
Oh, Lord. And her mole.
Baby, her and her eyeball had to wrote a letter in to testify about why the chains need to come up off of the Whisperer. My God, today, baby, it's a mess. This is what a mess.
And before we go forward, I do have to give the roses, just like with Lord, why is it slipping my head right now? Damn it. Rumors and tea, what she said in reference to this platform, no shade. When it comes down to breaking shit down, baby, I'm not no dick rider, but I like sucking dick a little bit, girl. CTV gets it done over here. No shade. No shade. All the breakdown, all the information, all of the stuff that you need as the intro, as the theme, sounds as you can hear it. Girl, there's so many things that's happening in this platform, on this platform, with this platform. And I'm just glad to be here and to be a part of the situation as well, and to educate myself, because baby, we're going to learn some things on tonight. So if you're smoking on something, get you something to smoke on. I already got my pre-roll and my edible is loading, so we're going to have a good time tonight. I hope y'all are ready. Edutainment on board.
Amen. And I hope, I might have to pass you the mic so you can do some of this reading tonight because my
that's fine.
allergies are kicking my ass. So if y'all hear the snuffling and all of that, child, yeah, I got the allergies to this time of year. Tear me up. Okay, I better be toe up. And I didn't want to take a Benadryl because I knew I was going to have to come out here and show my ass with this commentary. So, So I may have to pass the mic on to Bubs and let him do some of this reading. Also, there's going to be times where I won't be able to show the screen because, especially when we get to the letters that were written in, people got their phone numbers, they got their addresses on this stuff. You guys are actually going to see a letter written from the nigga who owns the D.L. Whisperer's house. I don't know whether the nigga is his roommate or it's the owner of the home, but yeah, him and the D.L. Whisperer got the same address. So this is somebody who either owns the property or who he cohabitates with in the property. It appears to be a white man.
Oh,
and the plot thickens. Oh. Yeah, baby, y'all gonna want to stick around for this, baby. It's a lot going on, girl. There's a lot going on. So, baby, I hope y'all, if you ain't got nothing else to do, baby, cross your titties and cross your legs, okay? Sit down and we about to take y'all through the DL Whisperer files. But let's first get into some updates on what apparently is going on with Miss Whisperer Girl. So I decided to go pooch on over to his Facebook page, child. And this is what I had synced it. I synced it with my own eyes, girl. He going through it, child. All right, check this out. This is a June 3rd Facebook post update. It has been 100 plus days of pure hell. There have not been any court appearances or any court dates put on the calendar. Day in and out, dealing with racism and hardships. I plead not guilty on May 5th, and they still did not set a trial date, despite the law stating it should be set when the plea is entered. I am not a criminal, and jail is not for the weak. I am strongly considering just taking a plea so that I can be released from this nightmare. Accepting a plea and admitting guilt would be a lie, being that I am innocent. But I cannot fight this locked up. What I have learned in these 100 plus days is that the legal system is not fair and justice does not exist. It is not about right or wrong. The district attorneys just want to win and secure convictions to feed their egos. My mission in life is bigger than this, which is why I have to free myself and allow God, the big G-O-D, to handle the ones who wrongfully put me here. Pray for me. Love you all, the DL Whisperer. I wonder if DL Whisperer believes that his God instructed him to terrorize this lady since last summer and instructed him and inspired him to donut in her cul-de-sac at 100 miles an hour, hanging out of the goddamn window with his eyeballs bulging all upside of his goddamn head, and then instructed him to go home and make more domestic terroristic threats against her. Do you think that the Lord was with him then?
I don't know if he was with him then, but obviously he's not with him now for the fact that he ain't got the faith to be able to walk in the truth. Because again, if you are dealing with the truth, you're going to go through whatever you have to go through for the truth to come out. But the fact that you're willing to give in to, quote unquote, the enemy, girl, I don't know if the Lord knows you. No shade. Maybe your neighbor's not in that book of life that they talk about, Mr. D.O. Whisperer.
You do know who the hell the goddamn divine was with? Who God was with? The goddamn TS.
No shade. And speaking on things that you've learned, it's so funny that in these 100 plus days, you haven't learned how to find out if a nigga is objectively DL now or not. You're wasting time. You're wasting time. Baby, you're supposed to be coming out with information to where a motherfucker can look at a man and be like, yep, girl, he gay in my spirit because the DL Whisperer, he learned that shit in prison, in the trenches. Okay, it should be Disney World for you. You like dick, right? So you should be running that bitch. How is it running you? This is what happens when you listen to people who just talk shit and can't back it up. And again, I saw the video or the evidence, girl, if you quote unquote doing what you do best, girl, and if that's what doing what you do best looks like, girl, what the fuck does worse look like? Because damn.
She deserved to be in jail just for that performance alone.
Thank you. I
That's
thought she was a
deserving of
little bit
100 days
cute,
and
girl, but when
100
I
nights.
saw that damn thing, I said, nope, girl. At this point, my shit's
Well,
inverted.
I did find her cuter in that video because her face was barely in frame.
Well,
yeah. Yeah, you know, so I love when people try to call upon the holy one when they are in unintentionally unholy circumstances.
Exactly.
Like, wanna ask for God on the way out of trouble that didn't want to consult with God before you got your ass into trouble. Make it make sense.
I should have
The
been
math
came
don't
to you.
Yeah, the math don't math that way. The Lord wants you to consult before you give your mind over to the fallen one, before you allow your truths of thoughts to persevere against you. That's when you're supposed to cry out from the land.
Exactly.
Like Cain and Abel's blood, baby, and you cling to the cross for righteousness and a peace of mind and solidarity for God. Oh, God has put everything in you and given you everything that you need to live a bountiful, Christian, all-American lifestyle.
And protected life.
Yeah, a blessed life. You could be like me and Bubs. You could have had 100 days of blessing instead of 100 days of hell. Mm-hmm. You could have been out here blessed like the TS, baby. Having 100 days of prosperity. Instead of 100 days being forced on your knees just to have some qualified immunity from them big, burly, actual gangster-ass homosexuals in the goddamn prison, okay? Who did real things to get their ass in jail, baby. They ain't just circle a bitch block. They lifted a bitch's block to get in the motherfucking big house.
And left the block hot.
Now you there folding drawers and you there as some goddamn maiden girl, as some goddamn boudoir around the damn harem. Forced to do concubine duties. Just so that they don't whip off in your motherfucking ass in there. He done said, girl, they're breaking HIPAA laws and they ain't giving him his medications and he being stripped of his constitutional rights, child. And I got a screenshot here on my phone. Oh, yes, I do. Where someone asked him in his comment section, girl, Nicole Reed says, does he have a good lawyer or a lawyer in general? Talking about the D.O. Whisperer. The D.O. Whisperer, you know, somebody's running the Facebook page for him, apparently his cousin. The cousin says, yes, he has a lawyer, but we are losing faith in his counsel.
Oh, damn.
And the reason why they probably losing faith in the counsel is because the counsel was telling him, bitch, you're cooked, girl. You're cooked. Yeah. You're cooked, girl. I'm sorry. You waived your right to a speedy trial, which means that you gave the right to the courts to delay the hell out of your situation because you're pretty much going to sit here until the courts are ready, until T.S. Madison's attorneys are ready, and until we find a viable legal strategy for you, because at this point, we don't really fucking have one because, bitch, you're as guilty as a STD positive panel from the free clinic.
Lord.
Yeah. Like, girl, you're cooked. And then he's talking about he may take the plea deal. Plea deals don't work that way. You don't get to reject the plea deal and then think because you tired of sitting around upside down with a blown out throat that you ready to go home now and want to revisit the prosecutor's DA's plea deal. The courts could reissue the plea, renegotiate the plea, create a plea deal, or all out reject it and just proceed forward. Given all the hell that he's going through, it looked like the courts are just going to go ahead and take him through there. I mean, they're making money off of his black ass while he's in the system. This is what prisons were created for. The prison industrial complex is one of the country's biggest bankrolls, along with the pharmaceutical industry, etc. Child. You know, so this is big business. You down there helping the gatekeepers by having your black ass locked up, baby. They don't have no incentive to send your raggedy spaghetti body ass home.
Not spaghetti body, girl. What?
Yeah. So
no sauce. Damn.
No sauce, girl. All pasta. So now we're here because you played with Big Brim. And I bet you'll never make that mistake again. You got a bitch called the spiritual whistleblower who can't blow a blessing in your direction to save her motherfucking jawline, bitch.
Oh, shit.
You got Jigsaw Face over there, bitch, hooting and hollering down there to the courthouse, and she can't get spiritual enough, bitch, to activate a blessing on your behalf. My God, to this day. I know it wasn't the trainee whose God backed her.
And that's why it's all about. Go ahead.
And you got a cisgendered God in the mix. But it was one trainee whose God buckled and was petitioned and protruded from the astro into reality and touched the one who did touched its anointed one. I bet you won't make that motherfucking mistake again, bitch. I bet you won't. And you know that 3-year long restraining order more than likely is going to be converted into a lifelong restraining order. You know, the same restraining order that Daily Dose with D has. Here's a lifelong restraining order against the Whisperer, along with Dominique Morgan, who has a restraining order, a TPO against the Whisperer as well. Not to mention that T.S. Madison is protected under a vulnerable class, so there's going to be probably some upgraded charges like hate crimes, doxing charges. I mean, my God, no wonder y'all feel defeated because your attorney keep bringing you bad news, sugar. You better hope that by the time you decide you're ready to take a plea deal, that the courts are still interested in such, because baby, that time has long gone, and you might as well go to trial. But who would have been stupid enough to go to trial being this wrong? When you got this much incriminating evidence against you, why would you hand a jury your ass? The plea deal was the obvious escape hatch from the very beginning. Who in their right mind would have ever thought they had a lick of a chance at trial? Like, what jury of his own peers? Even if he get all 6 women as a jury girl, even if it's all lined up in his favor, how you gonna excuse door cam footage of you circling the block, bald-headed and all, on bald tires, baby, hooting and hollering first thing in the goddamn morning, and then all the 50 million living audios of you talking about wanting to harm this lady and threatening her mama and threatening her team and destroying her property and doxing her and you admitting on audio that you have no respect to the law? No respect to the law? What jury gonna hear that and be like, yeah, send them home, innocent? Bitch, if I was a jury member, I would sentence your ass to a mental asylum at best. Permanent institutionalization. Oh, speaking of permanent institutionalization, Bubs, have you heard? So they pulled his whole record. Do you know that this boy had harassment and stalking charges at the age of 12 years old?
I'm not surprised. Because if
had
y'all
violent offenses as a teenager and a young person.
Wow.
You can talk about it. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I'm not surprised. Again, this has been a pattern. And if you want a little bit more of a backstory on the DL Whisperer before the whole T.S. Madison thing came about, you can check out my video essay on my platform, which I'll be dropping in the comment section, you know, periodically, girl. Where's my spirit at right now with that, girl? Okay, yes, periodically. That's what it felt in my spirit, girl. But I'm gonna drop it. But yes, I'm not surprised. Like, this individual is being used by insecure people. And I wanted to say, also, this is like a cautionary tale on why you should really love yourself. Why it's important to have awareness within self, because if you don't, this is what can happen to you, especially when you have other insecure ass people who are jaded and jealous despite them having everything that's considered natural and on the right side of. You can't seem to manifest what the fuck you want even though you're on the right side of, and then you're upset with those who are not where you're at as far as what you believe as far as biology is concerned, but the manifestations is manifesting. You shouldn't be mad at them. You should be asking them, how the fuck are you doing this? And I hope that the DL Whisperer learns that going forward, yeah, when you was talking about doing therapy and stuff like that, stick with that. That might be your best bet. Because it could have went a completely different path, a different way for you, that would have not been favorable. It could have been physical for your ass. Be grateful that the universe sat your ass down inside of a fucking prison so you can finally get your shit together. And I mean, I guess I would feel some type of way as well, especially with all this Victoria shit happening in reference to queer people during Pride Month. That's very interesting. That all this is happening during Pride Month. All this information is being spilled during Pride Month, both outside the community and inside the community. And that this is what accountability actually looks like. And I do want to get into more so of the insecure ass bio women that played into this happening for him. Because your spokesperson, the person that was able to say what you were too afraid to say, is now being reprimanded. And y'all can't deal with that. Yeah, it's called ego death. And not just him. He's not going to be the only one that's going to deal with it. You're going to deal with it too. Yeah, that Age of Aquarius is coming for all of us. No shade. And as someone said on a previous live, I'll land my plane.
And the plane has landed.
My plane.
All right, let's get into the transcript, Shy. We gonna start, honey, with the proceedings. Oh God. Y'all want them likes all the way up. All right, the court. Going on the record in the case of State of Georgia versus Naquan Palmer, warrant number ... FW. Present and before the court is Mr. Palmer, appearing via WebEx from the Gilmer County Adult Detention Center. If any point in time, Mr. Palmer, you have any difficulty seeing or hearing the proceedings that are occurring before the court, please let me know so I can address that. Okay, sir? The defendant. Yes, Your Honor. The court. All right. Thank you much. If the jail could kindly mute so we are not getting background noise during the case. We don't need niggas in there getting bust down. We don't need to hear stabbings. We don't want to hear Tory Lanez getting thrown up against brick walls and shit. Bitch, mute all that shit. We got a proceeding to get into. Thank you so much. Also present before the court is Mr. Ellie Francis, the attorney representing Mr. Palmer. All right. So Attorney Francis is Palmer's attorney in this matter. And the state is represented by Mr. Bruce Roberts, Assistant District Attorney. This matter was scheduled on the calendar today on the defense motion to set bond in this case. It would be the court's intent in this case, as I have in other matters that have been pending today, to ask the state to present a brief factual basis as to the charge or charges pending against the defendant, at which in point in time, the defense will be allowed to present evidence regarding the factors that the court would need to consider for the purpose of bond, and then the state will be allowed an opportunity to present any additional evidence. Any objection to the procedure on behalf of the state, Mr. Roberts? Mr. Roberts, no, Your Honor. The court, on behalf of defense, Mr. Francis, no, Your Honor. But for the clarity of the record, there is also a motion for a preliminary hearing. I don't know if that would change the way Your Honor would want to do that. Would having the preliminary hearing first delay the factual basis? The court, if we can just handle it all at the same time, because I anticipate that they would address the preliminary. Mr. Francis, of course, Your Honor. The court, hearing as part of the bond, So, Mr. Francis, of course, Your Honor, then no. The court, it can be consolidated. The court, thank you. Any need for opening on behalf of the state? Mr. Roberts, no, Your Honor. The court, on behalf of the defense, Mr. Francis, just briefly, Your Honor. In this particular case, Your Honor, this is dealing with instances that all stem from online communication. As far as the warrant being taken out, the only case that I do want to bring to the court's attention when it does come to defending whether or not something is or is not considered contact in violation of bond or the aggravated stalking statute, which is statutes here and statutes here. In this particular case, it is an instance where it will again, where it was again online communication. The Georgia Supreme Court determined that it was not sufficient contact for an individual to post about another individual on their own specific. In this instance, in the case for case law there, it was a website, but that extends to any kind of personal social media and any kind of opinions that relate thereof. In that particular case law here, they specifically listed the individual by name, discussed the individual in comment threads. However, you had to access the website and go to it to be able to find any of that information. It was not tagged to the individual at that point or anything else. So that is a case where in this particular one, given my client's nature of employment being that of an online social media influencer, discussing another individual on his personal social media, in which case you have to actually go to his social media, watch his videos and or subscribe to any of his accounts, is an instance that is in line with the case law here framework, to where it's not considered contact for anybody that he does or does not mention at that point. And that would be our argument. Baby, this is the weakest, most weirdest, most craziest, most goofiest, most stupidest argument ever. Is clearly they don't know how a hashtag works. And that would be our argument as far as the preliminary hearing, that there is not probable cause here to move forward with this warrant. Thank you, Your Honor, the court. Thank you. And if I could make an inquiry in reviewing the motion to set bond, and correctly, as you pointed out, Mr. Francis, in the motion for the preliminary hearing and having reviewed the warrant that is associated with this case, I have noted that this is based on an allegation of a violation of a temporary protective order regarding the petitioner, in that case, Madison Hinton. Mr. Francis, yes, Your Honor. The court, is there any objection on behalf of the counsel for the court to take judicial notice of the TPO file that is giving rise to this case as it's a matter of record? Mr. Francis, no, Your Honor. The court is the superior court. No, Your Honor. On behalf of the state, Mr. Roberts, no, Your Honor. Your Honor, does the court have the ex parte order as well, or just the temporary, the 12-month order? The court, I don't know the answer to that question because I did ask for the clerk to pull it, but I literally have not looked at it until Mr. Francis then inserts and says, of course, Your Honor. The court says counsel indicated as to whether or not it would be an issue. So if I may look at this time, Mr. Francis says, sure. Mr. Roberts says, sure. Mr. Francis says, yes, Your Honor. And just for the purpose of expediency, got my God today. Expediency. Thank you. I was about to say expediency.
I'm gonna mess up some words too. Do you good?
Maybe I was gonna say expediency in this bitch.
Okay.
My tongue, girl.
Your tongue
she
just
was
wanted
rolling in
I
the
understand.
deep.
I understand.
Okay, say that word again.
Expediency.
Expediency. Okay, that sounds proper. But I don't lost my damn point. Where was I?
Mr. Francis, yes, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm down here. I was looking up there. All right. It was just the ex parte order that had been issued prior to these warrants being pulled. The official hearing for the 12-month protective order did not happen until last week, whereupon the court reviewed documents. Mr. Francis says, I may be off. It may have been 2 weeks ago, Your Honor. I apologize. The court, no. Okay. So it appears that there are two protective orders, one related to a Dominique Morgan and one in relation to Madison Hinton. But the only person that we're here on today is Madison Hinton. Is that correct? Mr. Francis says that is correct, Your Honor. Mr. Roberts says correct. The court, all right. Hold on 1 second then. I have the petition. I have the stalking ex parte order. I have the sheriff's entry of service, the motion for contempt, whereupon the court reviewed documents. The court then says, and I do have the 12-month order, but it is counsel's position that the only applicable one, is that how you pronounce applicable? Would be the ex parte order. But I feel like I used to pronounce applicable differently.
It's tomato.
I
You
think I
probably
used to
did.
say applicable.
I mean, that works.
I mean, it's applicable. I just said it slow down the other way.
Good.
What would be the ex parte's order regarding the timing? Mr. Francis says that is correct. Mr. Roberts says that is correct, Your Honor. See, I'm so scared. I'm going to scroll down and somebody's address is just going to pop up randomly in this damn conversation. And I don't want to fuck around, man.
I guess what I can do in the meantime is I can kind of preemptively scroll and see which pages have it on when we do that.
I ain't got to do all that. I'm just going to keep reading. Just take it off. Because the last time I read some damn transcript, somebody's address just bust out. Guess who, bitch? Ding dong.
Okay.
Then I had to blur out shit and all that. Okay. The court says okay. And just for the purpose of the record, that is the Superior Court of Gilmer County, Madison, Chanel, Renee Hinton versus Naquan. I ain't gonna say his last name, Palmer, Silver, action, file, number, this, that, and the third. All right, thank you. Mr. Francis says, of course, Your Honor. The court says, as to Mr. Francis' opening statement and case citation in response at this time on behalf of the state. Mr. Roberts says, no, Your Honor. The court says, all right, thank you. Call your first witness. Mr. Roberts, we call Madison Hinton, whereupon the witness came to the witness stand. My God, today it's gonna get good, baby. The court says, before you are seated, if you would allow, Mrs. Hinton says, okay. The court says the state to swear you in, whereupon the witness was duly sworn. All right, Madison Hinton, having been duly sworn, was examined and testified as follows by Mr. Roberts. That's the state. Question. Hold on, let me scroll down. I can probably put this back on the screen. Just want to make sure there's no information here. All right, let me reshare. Bleep. All right. Question. This is by the state. And if you will state your name for the record. See, people, baby, I'm glad her address ain't got. She ain't said the address, girl. I'm so scared. If you will state your name for the record, my name is Madison Chanel Renee Hinton. Question, okay. And Mrs. Hinton, how do you spell your last name? Question, okay. And what county do you live in? DeKalb. Question, okay. And what? Well, tell the court, what do you do for a living? I am a social media star and a television reality star. Come on, star.
Come on.
Okay. Now, explain to the court when you say that you're a social media star, explain to her what you do and what you have done in your career. I have a podcast called The Outlaws Podcast. I have a podcast called The Popular High Gossip Podcast. Okay. I have created and executive produce my own reality television series. I am a judge on RuPaul's Drag Race. I am an actress. I'm in movies and television. So I'm a motherfucking star. Okay. And do you know of Naquan Palmer? I've never met Naquan Palmer. The only way that I was able to know who he was, he popped up on my radar by becoming aggressive, making threats to me online. My initial finding out who Mr. Palmer was I did a controversial interview with Nene Leakes from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay. We did a very, very controversial interview. Okay. Well, let me stop you real quick. Okay. So you said you did this interview with Nene Leakes. And so that was on a podcast, or was it? Oh, yes. It was the Nene Leakes show. It's her podcast. It's a visual podcast. Yes. Okay. So you actually were the guest on her show. Is that? Yes. I was a guest on her show. Okay. And tell the court what the topic of the conversation was that was so controversial. Well, the topic of the conversation on the show was we were discussing, current events. We were discussing my life. She was interviewing me about my life and where I was, like what new shows I have coming out and stuff. And, us possibly working together, just having lots of conversation. Okay. And in a part of the conversation, we started talking about the end, we started talking about dating life. And okay, I'm going to stop you real quick. Okay. So one thing, I know that you go by T.S. Madison. Is that? Yes. T.S. is my name. Okay. And tell the court what that stands for. T.S. Madison is a short for I'm a transsexual. Okay. Madison. But I've taken the power back from that. So it means a lot. Like it's thunderstorm. Okay. Madison. It's okay. Talking stuff. Madison. It's just T.S. Madison. It's my stage name. Okay. So we were sitting down and we were having discussions over dating. Okay. She's a cisgender woman. I'm a transgender woman. Okay. And so we were talking about the differences between dating amongst women. Okay. And so she asked me, am I dating currently? And I said, well, I keep that to myself, really. And then she asked me, well, I asked her, was she dating? She said, would you date somebody that I know? And she said, well, do you only know gay men? Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I don't date gay men. And from that, we got into a very long, deep discussion about gay men and women dating gay men and who's DL and into that type of situation. Okay, now I'm going to stop you real quick. You use the term DL. What does that mean? Down low DL means down low. Okay, it means, men who are sleeping with transgender women are gay men. Okay. And also sleeping with cisgender women. Okay. So in other words, they are, I guess, what you call characterized bisexual men. That are either dating or date or married to or creeping around or something like that. Okay. That they're on the down low. The other part of it that they do with men is something that they kind of keep secret, and that's the down low part. Yes, it's a secret, like Victoria's Secret. Okay. It's a secret relationship. Okay. And so how did that conversation evolve from there to get to Mr. Palmer? Well, Mr. Palmer had a moniker online where he goes by the stage name DL Whisperer. And so the court then says, I'm sorry, say that again. Miss Hitton says, he goes by the name DL Whisperer. The court says, okay, thank you, with your old ass. Mr. Roberts says, okay. Madison says, so that's his stage name online. Okay. And what is your understanding of how he earned his moniker DL Whisperer? Well, he's pandering and grifting to women who are interested in finding out if their man is on the down low or having DL relationships with other men or trans women or, And so he got into the conversation, his interaction with me via third party. Okay. There was a lot of dissertation around the conversation that Nene and myself had. Okay. And there was one woman, her name was the Spiritual Whistleblower. That was her stage name. Okay. And she made an entire 15, 20-minute video about me. And in that video, she was making allegations that I raped men. Okay. That I buck break black men. That I rape black men. Okay. I assume at this point, people were kind of like pulling at their collars and patting their foreheads and squiggling around in their seats, and Pampers were heating up. It's getting very interesting in the courtroom. Yeah, some huggy diapers were diapering in the courtroom. And that I butt break black men and I rape black men. Okay. So usually, because I'm a big star, I don't really pay a lot of the conversations around things, that happen with me any attention because I draw a lot of attention. Okay, let me stop you real quick. So how did this lady's video post that she made, how did it come to your attention? Well, it also garnered a lot of views and it was shared to me. And my name is in the title, so I can see when my name is in the title. Okay, so someone passed that along to you so you could see what she had said, correct? Well, they all passed it along. Okay, it's posted for me to see. It was posted for me to see. Okay, okay. And so then what happened after that? After you saw this, I can't remember what you said. Her name was the spiritual whistleblower. Spiritual whistleblower. So after I saw that, I took to my platform and I did probably about a 20-minute video of like a reaction video to her talking about me. And I was stopping at each way, along in the video, breaking it down where she had misconceptions about me. Mm-hmm. Well, we all have a system called StreamYard where we cast to all of our social media accounts, X, Facebook, YouTube, simultaneously, right? So basically, you can make your video and basically click a button and it posts to all of your social media accounts. It casts everywhere, yes. Okay, so where did you pick up her video at and where did you see it? Oh, I saw her video on YouTube. Okay. It was in the YouTube algorithm. It was making numbers. Okay. Because she was, really making accusations that are great men. Okay. And so I would not have responded to her video had it not been for the accusations of rape. Okay. Because, I'm in my line of business. I'm in television and movies. All it takes is for a producer or a studio or network to get a hold of some conversation around me and grape. Right. And I could lose, my job. I can lose my opportunities. And so I had to get in front of that and be like, listen, ma'am, listen, you have all the types of conversations that you choose, but this grape stuff, you've got to chill. Okay. So now the video response that you made, what sort of social media outlets did you post yours on? I cast it to, okay, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and then we took pieces of it and we posted it on TikTok. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So then how did Mr. Palmer insert himself into that? Mr. Palmer came in because he goes by the moniker DL Whisperer, and he tells women that he is their protector and he's their savior from the enemy. Okay. And so anything that constitutes DL or trans women or anything trans is deemed as an enemy to women. And so he has his cape on and he came to save this woman because he said that I was threatening her, which I was not threatening her at all. I was just telling her that, ma'am, you have to be careful with making allegations of rape. And then she was very hostile. And I said, listen, I don't put my hands on women. I don't fight women, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to protect myself from anybody, I know women that will protect me from you. Okay? So here comes Mr. Palmer in his video addressing, he has a dissertation about, my commentary on the spiritual whistleblower. And then he began to say, well, she got me for you. And it's like, okay, I saw that and I did not engage with Mr. Palmer. Okay. Now, where did you view, or what social media platform did you view his response on? I saw his video on, I think it was TikTok. I'm not sure. Okay. I think it was TikTok, but I know I didn't respond to Mr. Palmer, that I responded to the spiritual whistleblower because those were allegations of rape. Yes. I did not respond to Mr. Palmer because he's not big enough.
Clock it. Bop it, twist it, turn it. Document it.
Let me highlight it. He's not big enough. He's not big enough for me to respond to. And he wasn't saying that I wasn't raping anybody. Right. So I didn't have any, I didn't have any quarrel with his conversation around that. Okay. What was the last contact or was that the last you heard from Mr. Palmer? No. Okay. So what was the next episode? I continued to see Mr. Palmer because he was, socially posting about me. It was continuous posting. Anytime that I did any other video on my social media platforms, he posted about me. Anything that I was on, any of my podcasts with iHeart, he would take clips of that. He posted on his page. He constantly posted. So again, I'm used to people having conversations around me because that's what happens. Okay. What makes me alarmed is when it becomes obsessive, and not just obsessive, it becomes, I don't like you. I will beat your ass. It becomes, I want to give you that. That meaning I want to F you up. Okay. And so I'm seeing these things and I'm not responding to them because I understand that this is the way Mr. Palmer makes his money. Okay. And if you engage with a star on my magnitude, your platform grows.
Right.
Okay. You're able to charge more money. Okay. Because it becomes now you are at war with a star. So it sort of generates heat and interest in this beef thing you have. It generates heat and money. Okay. So I guess a lot of this is based upon, like they say, many clicks you get. Yes. Or whatever. And that you actually make money by clicks. Is that correct? Our clicks, subscribers, AdSense through Google is Google AdSense when you're on YouTube. Okay. So it's Google AdSense stuff like that. So, it's a business, that's part of something that I do, but I'm also and I do social media, but I also do mainstream television, movies, work. So I'm also a producer. So question. So now it's my understanding from talking with you that did at first you were not that concerned about it, but that turned. Is that correct? It started to turn more. I know that, and we're on Twitter, and he was adding me on Twitter. Okay. Like incessantly adding me, taking my photographs, and then he would act and was like, you fat, nasty T-word. You nasty T-word. You T-words with D's. I hate you T-words. I want to speak to T.S. Madison. I hate you T-word. I just want to let you all know that I hate you T-words. And I want you T-words unalived. Okay. And so I would say I would see it, but then it was when it got down to I'm going to beat your ass. Okay. Now I'm going to stop you again here. One thing I haven't done with you telling us about this, can you give us some timeline or time frame on all this? When was this part of so the initial part started in June. Okay. I have a lot of notes here because I took screenshots and I took, okay. So is that when your interview with Nene Leakes? No, my Nene Leakes interview was June 5th. Okay, June 5th. And so we're talking, this all began from June 5th of last year. Is that correct? Yes, of 2025. Okay. So I think you told me in October, you got really concerned. Well, October is when it really escalated because my fans started sending me TikTok clips of him stating that he was going to come. Each year I have an annual birthday party, I'm assuming. My birthday is October 22nd. Okay. Hold on real quick. Okay, I'm back. He had took a post where I was celebrating my birthday, okay, and where I had balloons. And so he put it on his page and he was like, look at big fat Barney. Okay. And I didn't pay that any attention. I got up the morning of my birthday. I thank all my fans for wishing me happy birthday, loving me. He took clips of that, which he has on his page currently. Okay. And he was berating me, but I want to tell you, so each year I have an annual birthday party on Halloween. Okay. I charge entry for the birthday party. It's my annual Halloween party. Okay. And I'm assuming you had that in some public place. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. I had it in a public place. And so I was selling tickets on sickeningevents.com. And I was selling the tickets. People were buying tickets and everybody's getting excited. I was talking to everybody about the costumes and what the theme was this year. Mr. Palmer took it upon himself to take to his TikTok, and he started to make videos stating that he was coming to beat my ass. He was going to beat my ass. He was going to beat another trans woman's ass by the name of Cherry and another trans woman by the name of Dominique Morgan. He was going to beat us at the party. Okay. Again, I did not go back and forth. I just began to document. Okay. I started documenting. I started to download, a lot of the videos that he was making. I started to put them in a folder because, it hadn't got to the point of I'm going to unalive you yet. Okay. But it was teetering on the line of I want you unalived. All right. At some point, did it take that turn? Yes. Okay. And when about did that take place? On the morning of January the 23rd, Mr. Palmer was at, 5:45 a.m. Okay. And that's January 23rd or 26th of 26. Okay. Mr. Palmer was on his live stream and he was telling his followers that I had doxed him and that I had posted his address and I had posted his social security number. I posted his family. He had told this to his followers, and then he said that he was coming to my house to Miss Hitton. Your Honor, I don't really want to keep saying the F word, but this is what he was saying. The court then said, if it's something that was said is factually based, you may say it. Give us that sweet ghetto shit, sister. If you are saying it for dramatic purposes, then it is a court of law and we may not use vulgar language. Miss Hitton, yes, ma'am. The court says if it is a quote, you may use it. Miss Hitton says, he said, I'm going to beat your ass. He's going to have to get, he refers to me as he. By Mr. Roberts. Okay. The answer, he's going to have to give me that. I'm going to get him today. I don't give a damn. I'm going to slap his mama. He also was stating that he wants to beat me until I take and watch me take my last breath. He was repeatedly screaming that he wants me dead, screaming into the air while he was getting dressed because I could hear him getting dressed. Okay. And then going to get in his car, leaving Gilmer County and coming to DeKalb County. Okay. And so this was going on at 5:48 in the morning. I was sleeping. Somebody, because he has followers, okay, was calling my phone incessantly. That's one of my relatives and was like, girl, get up. This boy is saying that he's coming to your house to do you harm. Get up, get up, get up. I'm not going to lie. I didn't believe it because I was like, there's no way he's going to do this and document this. Like, he can't be that stupid to be online right now saying, I'm coming to your home and I'm going to do these things to you. Okay, did something happen that made you believe it? Well, yes, because they kept calling me, telling me to get up. And so when the last call, because I have him blocked on all my social medias, okay, I have him blocked. And so they started sending me clips. They were clipping it and sending me these clips. And in these clips, I'm listening to him saying, ho, I know where you live. Ho, I'm coming to Conyers because I also have a home in Conyers. Okay. So he had been, because, this is the thing. He had been from maybe August, September. He had been posting, yeah, I'm going to pop up in Conyers. Yeah, don't you act like Conyers is so big. Oh, yeah, I know how to maneuver around Conyers. I know where you are in Conyers. And on March 31st of 2025, he had opened, we had opened the T.S. Madison Starter House. Okay, because that's part of my charity where I opened a house to house formerly incarcerated trans women or assisting impacted Black trans women who are trying to rehabilitate themselves and get their lives back in order. So obviously, Mr. Palmer had been watching that because it made national news and it was everywhere all over the news that this had happened. Okay. And so he knew where the house was in Conyers because it made news. And so is that the house in Conyers you were talking about where there were your charity had to house the women? Yes. Okay. And there was something mentioned about your mom, that he would slap your mom or something. Yes, that morning he was saying he was coming. Who lives in your household? My mother lives in the house with me. My mother is disabled and my mother's elderly and disabled. And so he was saying that he was going to come there and attack her too. He also has been on several platforms throughout the course of his career, stating that he wants to do bodily harm to me. Okay. And I've watched this since June. Okay. And have not really engaged with Mr. Palmer. Okay. Let's go back to January when you said that he said he was coming to your house. Yes. Okay. Who was, not specific names necessarily, but who was letting you know that he was making these threats and saying that he was going to do this? It was one of my gay kids that lives in Florida. Shout out to Chi Chi. That's a follower of his. Okay. Well, he follows him because he's like, I'm watching this boy talk this trash about you every day. And I'm like, girl, I don't want to hear this. Just like, I don't care about this boy. Like, I don't want to hear this. Stop calling me with this stuff. But this is why my gay kid was like, Mama, this is urgent. Get up. This boy is on his way to your home. I did not believe that Mr. Palmer would be so stupid as to live stream and be on his way to my home. Okay. Is that in fact what happened? That is exactly what happened. Okay. And how did you find out about him live streaming that he was on? Ain't she just fucking told you, bitch? That her gay kid girl was blowing her motherfucking phone up, telling her that your goofy ass con bitch was on his way to Conyers. She says, well, Mr. Palmer was posting about it and I was receiving clips from the people. And then the craziest thing happened. The clip posted where he posted outside, T.S. Madison, I'm outside your home. Come outside, ho. So there was a video. Did it show your home in the video? Yes. It did show my home in the video. Yes. Okay. And so after June, it looks like in February, you decided that you were going to get a temporary protective order, correct? Well, what happened was we had a snowstorm on that day, like January 24th. We were scheduled to have that ice storm, right? That had Atlanta, kind of locked down. So the weather was bad and I didn't get an opportunity to, go to the next day. So what I did was I called the DeKalb County Police. In the process of me calling the DeKalb County Police came out with their body cams. And I was able to unblock him and go on his page and show where he had posted, all the things that he had been doing and he had been planning on doing. And so the officer recorded the stuff with his body cam and recorded the things that the gentleman was saying. And the officer instructed me that I needed to call Gilmer County to file a police report on him in Gilmer County. Okay, so did you know that he actually lived in Gilmer County? Yes, I knew that he actually lived in Gilmer County because he had been bickering with other girls online and they were posting lots of information. They were doxing each other. Okay, so in the process of them doxing each other, of course, this gentleman is a threat to me. So I'm looking at this stuff and saving this. Like, okay, I'm going to need this to take to the police. You're not going to keep threatening me. I'm not responding to you. I'm not going to have some course of action should you act on one of these parasocial attachments that you have with me. Okay. And so did you get an ex parte order on February 10th of this year? I got an ex parte order on February 3rd. Okay. And after that date in February, did this defendant make posts threatening you after that? Yes. The defendant actually went and filed a retaliatory TPO against me. Okay. And it had my name, my address, and everything on there. And he posted that on his wall. Okay. He also was continuously posting tax information from my home in Lithonia. Okay. And he also utilized, because the judge wrote it in pen, no social media, no direct, no indirect, no mention. This was part of this. And so he used another person that was saying that, and I quote, I don't have no TPO on you, T.S. Madison. The DL Whisperer does. And anything that he wants me to post, I'm going to post it on mine.
You know exactly who that is.
Trasher, raggedy, coochie, stinking K.
Zim.
Robert says, okay. And he posted that. Do you remember this online personality's name by any chance? Yes, the online personality name is Unwinding with all of Cardi B's motherfucking money K. Okay. Is that Transrena K as in the letter K? Or yes, because it's short for Kibi that transitioned into Yellen. And now Yellen is yelling that it once was Kibi. It's Trash Coochie K like Kmart. Okay. And what sort of social media platforms was Trasher K posting on? Trasher K is a salacious gossip blog, okay, that has been sued by Cardi B. All right, okay. But just tell me this. Like, what social media outlets does she post on? The same social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Okay, so basically some of the ones that you post on as well. Yes, all of us post on the same places. So all of these were sent or got to you. Yes, purposely. Yes. Okay, and now I want you, now I had you watch some videos today. Earlier, did I not? Yes, you did. And I provided you with all of the evidence, but I provided you with a lot more evidence. All right. And these are ones that you provided to my office, correct? Yes, I did provide it to your office because we downloaded that completely from his metadata. That came from his metadata. Okay. Can you tell the court about, I think there are 3 videos on there. It's about 3 or 4 videos in there. There's one video where he's talking about that when he catches me, he's going to beat me until nobody will recognize me. There's another one where he's stating that I don't give a damn what happens today. There's no bond that can be set on me that's going to stop me from getting him, as in T.S. Madison. And he wonder why they got his ass institutionalized right now.
Your light is up.
The courts and the judge, the clerk, the attorneys, the state, his attorney, they all heard this evidence that T.S. Madison gave to them directly from the D.O. Whisperer's own social medias, which, might I add, are still up.
Yep.
So when they're on his Facebook page saying, girl, we losing faith in the attorney, it's because, baby, once the attorney saw all the evidence, he lost faith in the goddamn case, bitch.
Okay, thank you.
That's how that works. All right. And then there was one that really was horrific to me. The gentleman stated, I sat outside your house for 5 hours. I sat outside your neighborhood for 5 hours. You don't know who's watching you. You don't know when I have someone watching you. You don't know when I'm coming back. You don't know. Now, Miss Hinton, I'm going to show you what I have marked as State Exhibit 1. And can you identify this item? Whereupon State Exhibit 1 was marked for identification. This is a flash drive. Okay. And how do you recognize this flash drive? That's the flash drive that you provided to me earlier. Okay. And I had given you the videos, and you downloaded them and you put them on that flash drive. Thank you. Mr. Roberts, Your Honor, I would like to tender State's Exhibit number 1 for the purposes of the hearing. The court, any objection? Mr. Francis, no objection, Your Honor. The court states 1 is admitted without objection. Mr. Roberts, Your Honor, may I publish? The court, you may. And counsel for both state and defense may have free movement of the courtroom. Mr. Francis, thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Roberts, Your Honor, can. Whereupon the video played in open court. The court, hold on. Mr. Roberts, can we stop 1 second? I don't know. Can the defendant see these? I want him to be able to see we're in court. The court says he would be entitled to see them. Mr. Roberts says, yes, ma'am. The court says, Mr. Palmer, the defendant, yes, Your Honor. The court, there's going to be a video that is getting ready to be played before your raggedy ass eyeballs. There is a large projection screen over here to my right, sort of like the one that you're being projected on. There's also another one to my left. Do you have a view of any of the projection screens in the courtroom? The defendant, of course, says no, Your Honor, with his difficult ass. Mr. Roberts, can we turn him slightly so that he can see the projection screens? I know you have him in the trains, bitch. But can you unlock them just a little bit? We can tilt this bitch at a 190-degree angle so he can see the goddamn projection screens that are going to further incriminate his ass. Do you see now behind Madame? The defendant, the court reporter, the defendant. I see the bottom half, Your Honor. I can only see the bottom part of it. I can't see the full screen. The court, okay. Is there potentially, and I don't know how long those cords are, is there unknown male? This thing can only be moved a few inches. Mr. Roberts, baby, not all type of technological issues going up in this motherfucker. Yeah, it's kind of. The defendant, I see it? I can see it now, Your Honor. The court, what can you see? I can see almost the whole entire screen. Over 3/4 of the screen is only a small part that I can't see at the very top. Unknown female. The screen will move. Mr. Roberts, well, It's the top he can't see. You don't have to move it. It's the top. The court. Let me ask a question as to the projection screen. There is an arm attached to the one on the lectern. Is it possible to maybe maneuver that around so he would be able to view it from that? Can you see that screen? That's the defendant. Yes, Your Honor. The court. Okay, excellent. Mr. Robert, okay. The court, then let's do that. The defendant, yes, Your Honor. Mr. Roberts, okay. The court, all right.
Girl, let me know you ready for me to read, girl, because I got you, girl. 'Cause I'm about to read this shit like a script, bitch. Girl.
Oh, look, if you want to jump in now, you can. It's up to you.
Okay, I can. All right.
All right.
So we at the court. The court.
Hold on,
all
let me
right.
bring this up a little bit more for you so you can see.
Oh no, I got on another screen.
Okay.
So I can read it here. The court. All right. For the purposes of the record, State's Exhibit 1 appears to be a video that is 1 minute and 15 seconds in length. Begin playing it from the beginning, Mr. Roberts. Okay. Whereupon the video replayed in open court, whereupon the video was paused. Mr. Roberts, just 1 second. Oh, stop it. Can you run it back? Okay. Your Honor, for the record, there is a second video that is 19 seconds in length, the court, and that is contained within the State's Exhibit 1. Mr. Roberts, that is correct, Your Honor. The court, how many videos are on the State's Exhibit 1? Mr. Roberts, 3 altogether, Your Honor. The court, okay, so this would be the second of the 3 videos. Mr. Roberts, that is correct. The court, all right, play the 19-second one. Mr. Roberts, okay. Whereupon the video continued to play in open court, whereupon the video was paused. Mr. Roberts, and Your Honor, for the record, this is the third of the 3 videos contained in State Exhibit number 1, excuse me. It is 2 minutes and 10 seconds in length. The court, thank you. Whereupon the video continued to play in open court, the video was paused. Mr. Francis, and Your Honor, if I may, for the purpose of the record, okay. I just wanted to make sure, because I saw that it was number video 5, and I just wanted to make sure that there was only 3 videos on the flash drive. The court, okay. Mr. Francis, that satisfies that right there. The court, okay, thank you. By Mr. Roberts. Question. Now, Miss Hinton, the court, what are the dates that those videos were made or posted? By Mr. Roberts. Question. Miss Hinton, are you aware of what days that the last video was posted, January the 23rd or the 24th? I think it was either the 23rd, like when he got home. Okay. Or the 24th, because he's explaining like I was at your house for like 5 hours. Okay. And so he had to explain that to his followers, you know? Okay. And that morning, that video where he said he was coming, that no amount of bond, that was on January the 23rd. Okay. There's a video where he's saying about he was going, whenever he catches me, he was going to beat me. This video had to be maybe about September-ish. Okay. Because that was like prior to my party. So then after you obtain this ex parte order, from the judge here in Gilmer County, did he make post or make contact with you by some form or manner? It was indirect. He used a third party as the judge told him not to. Okay. And tell the court about those contacts or those instances after you got the order. After I got the order, he immediately went to his page and he posted, imagine driving an hour and 30 minutes to get a TPO. Then he was trying to post the land assessment and the assessment of, my house value. Okay. Continuously doxing me. Okay. He also was posting my address. I don't know if I can give you this. Okay. But
God, wait a minute.
He was posting my address.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
I can see it, but
hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, I gotta hold on. Let me
do your thing.
I mean, even though her shit
make sure y'all hit that like button.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just move the screen out the way. Okay, continue on.
Okay, where was I at? Okay, let's see. He was posting my address on all social media and saying where it says his official account. Okay, and it says the address, since you all want me so bad. And It's a question, and that's okay. You don't have to. Okay. But as long as you testify about it, so there was actual posts. Where were those posts made? Those were made on Twitter. Okay. And when was the one about giving your address out? Do you remember when that was posted? Well, that the one about giving my address out was prior. Okay. But the one where they posted my, I'm trying to look at the date on this. Where they posted to Trash a K. This was on the 16th. Okay, February 16th. Okay, the court. Well, what was on February 16th? Which post? Miss Hinton. Yeah, let me look at it because we have. I have it here on the, because my attorney had drafted the contempt by Mr. Roberts. Going back to the question. Okay, and answers. And so she, okay, and would that refresh your memory? Saved all of the stuff here and attached it to the contempt. Whereupon the witness reviewed documents. Mr. Francis, and Your Honor, if she is going to reference a document, I would like it to at least be able to see what said document is. I mean, I know that there's very liberal rules of evidence when it comes to a preliminary hearing, but I do believe if it's refreshing or recollection, that's one thing. But if she's going to testify to the contents of a document, I believe that I am entitled to see that. Mr. Roberts, okay. Your Honor, it is my understanding on cross-examination would be the appropriate time that he could get that and use that as a part of his cross-examination. The court, if she's referencing the document and using it to refresh her recollection upon request, he would be entitled to see what it is that she is, Mr. Roberts, okay, the court referencing. So, Mr. Francis, thank you, Your Honor. The court. And I will say at the outset, I had asked if I could take judicial notice of the Mr. Francis. Of course, Your Honor. The court. TPO filing. And do I have a petition for contempt within the TPO filing? Mr. Francis. Of course, Your Honor. The court. So, Mr. Francis. Yes, Your Honor. Whereupon a document was provided to defense counsel. Whereupon there was a brief pause. Miss Hinton. One date was February 15th. One was February 12th. Mr. Francis. Thank you, Your Honor. I have no objection to her looking at it or anything like that. The court. Okay. Mr. Francis. I believe it's the same petition for contempt that you've already taken judicial notice of. The court. Thank you. Mr. Francis. Of course, Your Honor. By Mr. Roberts. Question. And Miss Hinton, what were the posts that were on those dates that you mentioned? It was the post was it was about the third party who is not supposed to be, he was not supposed to be using a third party. It's also the post about his TPO that he got against me. It was a TPO. It was a retaliatory TPO where it showed my name. He wasn't supposed to post that. Then he started posting about a revenge mortgage on my home. I'm about to say something else, girl. He posted my home to show where it was supposed to be a reverse mortgage. The Trash K, where he shared with Trash K from X.com, where she said the fishmen are jealous of DL Whisperer's sudden rise to fame. His social media impact needs to be studied, and anything he can't post, I will. Ain't no restraining orders on me. It's always up. This was in reference to me because he and I both had PTOs. Okay. And so on. I have here where on February 13th, he posted the TPO with my name on it. Okay. From DeKalb County. Okay. And I believe I saw a clip or some post that had something with the National AIDS Foundation or something, or did that have, well, that he was trying to post, he's saying that I'm doing fraudulent activities at my starter home, and he's saying that I'm, embezzling money. And this is why he was, passing this information with Trash K so that they can, make these salacious stories about me. But at the end of the day, I don't know this gentleman, okay? This is a person who has built who has garnered some type of parasocial attachment to me, and he has been watching me. He has been posting, he has been harassing, he has been stalking, he has been sharing, he has been doing these things. And so I don't know him. I could see if this was somebody that I have proximity to. I could see if this is somebody that I have a relationship with. I don't know this gentleman. I don't know anything about Gilmer County, anything, nothing. And so you have to ask yourself, how did he end up from Gilmer, which is 2 hours from DeKalb, and tell me? I'm sitting here watching videos of him telling me, I've been to your house for 5 hours. Okay. There actually is a video where he drives by your house, and there is he's driving by holding his phone up and videoing your house. That is, yes. Okay. And there's videos from my ring, from my security system footage. Okay. So since this defendant has been arrested, have you had any harassment from him on his behalf? Well, I don't know that he has a. I mean, I do know. Excuse me. I do know that he has a following of people. People have been writing and saying that they're going to finish what he started. I have still been constantly harassed by TRANSCRIPTS. Okay. She's been giving updates saying that they have been communicating via jail. He's called her from jail and they've been talking, and she had stated that she was supposed to do an interview with him, but his attorney had advised him not to do the interview. But this is what he was preparing to continuously do. Okay. And is it your belief this was all done to harm you and cause you, yes, grief, and yes, to harm me, to defame me, and to act upon his things? Like he wants me dead. Let me ask you this. Do you want him to get a bond today? No, I do not. Okay, and why? Tell the court why you don't want him to. Well, I don't want him to get a bond because the gentleman has influence. My mother lives in the house with me. I'm usually on the road working. For him to say that I'm going to come attack my mother doesn't know you. My mother hasn't done anything to you. My mother hasn't said a word to you or about you. And I'm just, this person knows where I live and has given my address to 250,000 of his followers just on one platform alone. Well, let me ask you this. So based on what he's done in the past, if he's allowed to get bond, are you in fear for your physical safety? I am in fear of my physical safety. And what about your family? I'm in fear for my family. I'm in fear for my life. The thing about it is he has a pattern of this. He's doxed Dominique. He's doxed Cherry. He's doxed another person that's here in the courtroom that has had a TPO served to him while he was in jail. So this is a pattern of what he does, and he's grifting to these people, and he's making money from this. And now he has a GoFundMe where he's telling people, well, I need help. I need to relocate. And if we're doing as if
I'll put a pause there.
Yes.
I just want to clarify some things. So
go ahead.
Somebody's asking, did he drive by the old house or the new house? He drove by the new house, but he couldn't, because at first he couldn't find her current address. So he was online threatening to pull up at the starter house. But then he came online and was like, oh yeah, I had to go through this, that, the third to get her address. Now I got her address. So then he pulled up to her current home, which is verified from his footage of him holding the phone, driving around the cul-de-sac, yelling out of his mind, and then from her door cam footage, he drove by her current estate. But go ahead.
No, you good. As if I'm trying to put his life in danger. Sir, I don't know you. I never known you. I don't know who you are. Do your stuff in peace. Leave me alone. Okay. Thank you, Miss Hinton. Thank you. Mr. Francis will have some questions for you. The court. I have a clarifying question, if I can. Mr. Roberts. Yes, ma'am. Mr. Francis. Of course, Your Honor. The court. In looking at the petition for contempt that is part of the TPO, one of the posts that is attached as an exhibit states DL Whisperer, and it shows a posting approximately 20 minutes before the screenshot was taken that says only a scammer would pay $1.2 million for a home priced at $500,000. And then it shows the photograph of a home. Are you familiar with that? Miss Hinton, that's my home. That is my home. The court. And when was that posted? Miss Hinton, I think that was posted at the same time. I had to contact Meta, which I have here too, that I'd like to. I had to contact Meta to have a lot of that stuff, a lot of my personal stuff removed, and I have been contacting Meta if I can give this to you as well. The court. I will let you show that to the attorneys. When you say he posted it at the same time, before or after February 4th of 2026, Miss Hinton, it was before and after because the gentleman didn't feel like he felt that if he could do it vaguely, then he's not violating anything. Here, this is my communication with Meta. Mr. Roberts, what the judge is asking about is about the attachments to the petition. Don't you have the copy of the petition there? Miss Hinton, yes, give me 1 second. The court, it was part of what was attached in Exhibit C. Miss Hinton, yeah, this is what my attorney filed over and sent over, yeah. Mr. Roberts, and keep going. Miss Hinton, okay. Mr. Roberts, it's the one where he's talking about how much your house costs. Miss Hinton, this I don't actually know because it has 20 minutes. It has 20 minutes up here. Mr. Roberts, okay. Miss Hinton, but I do know that this is the only things that I had to contact Meta to get down. Mr. Roberts, okay. The courts. So I guess part of my question is, when I look at the page before that, there is a posting date of February 15th, 2026. Then I flip to the next page, which is the photograph of the home. Miss Hinton, yeah. The court. Was that part of the same post or was that a different post? Miss Hinton, from the collection that my lawyer collected, I'm thinking that it's probably from the same post because it has the same information. The court. All right, thank you. As a result of my questions, does the state have any additional questions? Mr. Roberts, no, Your Honor. The court, all right. Mr. Francis, you may ask. Mr. Francis, thank you, Your Honor. Cross-examination.
Are you still good on reading, or?
Oh yeah, we can switch. This where we at? Yeah, we can switch. I like that.
Sure?
Yes,
Okay.
Let's go back and forth. This is fun. Come on now,
Okay,
hit that like button.
Yeah. Tell them to hit and like and all that stuff super quick. I gotta go check something real quick.
Okay, no shade. Make sure y'all hit that like. How are y'all doing with the read through? Now, first of all, I appreciate the people here that's pushing through the ADHD. Okay, and the microplastic in the brain a little bit. I'm just glad that y'all still pushing through and here with us. Make sure y'all hit that like button. We're getting into this, baby. We are reading it down, okay? We are reading it down.
Back to life, back to reality.
I'm proud of myself. I thought I was gonna be over here like Andrew Caldwell, bitch. I did that. There. Hey.
A little bit. It was kind of inserting some words where there wasn't no word set.
I was.
No, you did great. You did awesome. We had this goddamn cross-examination now. So I think that Mr. Francis is the DL's attorney. So yes. Mr. Roberts is the state. Mr. Francis is the DL attorney. So he probably about to try to do his kung fu.
His bullshit.
All right. Cross-examination. Mr. Francis, question. So, Mrs. Hinton, my name is Ellie Francis. My name is Ellis Francis. So I'm going to be asking you a couple of questions. Okay. Basically, the way that would go is I would prefer just a yes or no answer. Okay. If you want to explain through everything, you're more than welcome to afterwards. Okay. All right. Perfect. The court, she is entitled to explain her response upon a question being asked. Mr. Francis, of course. And that was what I was explaining, Your Honor. Okay. Mr. Francis, I apologize if that was jumbled. So, you testified here today that you didn't respond at all to anything that Mr. Palmer did the entire time, correct? Yes. Okay. So, I'm going to show you what's been marked as Defendants Exhibit 1 and 2, as well as Defendants Exhibit 3. whereupon defendants exhibit 1 through 3 were marked for identification, whereupon there was a brief pause. Mr. Francis, I apologize, Your Honor. I have one copy of this. The court is okay. Whereupon there was a brief pause. Mr. Francis, Your Honor, may I approach the court? You may. Francis, thank you. Whereupon the documents were provided to the witness by Mr. Francis. Question. So, Mrs. Hinton, specifically, with defendants exhibit 1 and 2 that I just handed you, do you know a MSJ Bold? That would be Jaya. That is Jaya's social media name.
Miss Jen.
Yes, I do. Okay. And it appears from this particular screenshot from 1 and 2 that was taken from her account. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. Do you remember this? Yes, I do. Okay. Does it appear to be altered or changed in any type of way? No, it doesn't. It's not altered or changed. No. Okay. Mr. Francis says, I would now tender, Your Honor, defendants exhibit 1 and 2, the court. Any objection? Mr. Roberts, no objection, Your Honor. The court admitted without objection. Mr. Francis, thank you, Your Honor, by Mr. Francis. Question. And in this particular, these screenshots, is that you in the background? Yes, it is. Okay. And that's you in the background. And are you holding a firearm? I am. Okay. What day did that happen? I don't particularly know what day this happened. I know it was cold and Mrs. Bold, and the gentleman in the photograph is also my assistant. They were outside making a music video. Got you. For TikTok? Got you. And in that particular screenshot that was taken, does about January 23rd, 24th sound about right? Yes. Okay, perfect. And so that's actually right after when my client allegedly drove by your house. Yes. Okay. And are you like kind of laughing and cutting up and everybody smiling in these screenshots? Yeah, we're having a good time. Okay. And defendants exhibit 3 that I handed you is 2 screenshots of some X posts that were made. Is that your X account that's listed at the top there? Yes. This is my X account. Yes. Okay, got you. Does it appear to be altered or changed in any type of way? No. Well, yes. One of them does. Not altered, but there was something left out, especially this part where it states, no amount of lip gloss you ever wear would I let you wrap around my dick, punk. You are beneath me. Even in corn days, when you was fat, you could never. I'm told I'm not arguing with no maggot renting a double wide trailer in Camp Creek.
Next to Jason Voorhees.
Wait, I want to read that again. No, well, yes, one of them does. Not altered, but there was something left out, especially this part about where it states, no amount of lip gloss you're ever wear would I let you wrap around my ping pong. You are beneath me, even in corn days when you was fat, you could never. I'm told I'm not arguing with no maggot renting a double wide trailer in Camp Creek. Girl. Mr. Francis, got you.
The only response, bitch. Got you.
That was the post that was deleted here. Because this was Mr. Palmer threatening me here under this post here. So this post was deleted. Okay. This was Mr. Palmer threatening me. Okay. And other than this, it was June 17th. Which was, again, I told, baby, they had it going on in court. We people had it going on, baby. My Nene Leaks interview was June 5th, correct? So the gentleman had been threatening me, since June. So my engagement with him, as I said earlier, but it was very minimum, but it was not to the degree of we were going back and forth. Got you. But I believe you testified earlier, and again, other than that being deleted, which again would be something that my client would delete off of his picture, not from the screenshot itself being changed. Okay. It has been altered any way that you're aware of? No. Okay. Mr. Nahim edited her caption that was reading the fuck out of his baby. Post the whole tea, whisperer.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Francis says, I would now tender defendant's exhibit 3, Your Honor. The court, any objection? Mr. Roberts, no objection, Your Honor. The court admitted without objection. By Mr. Francis, question. In that particular instance, you testified earlier that you never responded, never tagged him or anything else like that. Is that correct? My response were minimum. Okay. They were minimum now? Yeah. Okay. Got you. Okay. And I'm going to show you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 4, whereupon Defendant's Exhibit 4 was marked for identification, whereupon a document was provided to the state. Ms. Hinton, I actually have those threats too. Mr. Francis, may I approach, Your Honor? The court, you may. Mr. Francis, thank you. Question from Mr. Francis. I'm going to show you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 4. Ms. Hinton, okay. Mr. Francis says, and the particular document that I just handed you, is that again your X handle? Yes, it is. Okay. And then that particular thing, had it been altered or changed in any type of way that you know it has not? Okay. Mr. Francis, okay. I would tender Defendant's Exhibit 4. The recommended roll the court submitted without objection, blah, 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 blah. Mr. Francis says, in that particular instance that happened on January 23rd or 24th, I can't remember if, no, it was the 23rd. It was the 23rd. This was the morning that the gentleman drove to my home. Got you. And this is the gentleman's car. On my, and you're absolutely certain that that's his car. This is the gentleman's car. Yes. Okay. And in that instance, in response to this action, he undertook that put you in fear of your life. You posted on X with laughing emojis a picture of his car. Well, yeah. Okay, so again, obviously, it wasn't serious enough of a threat. It was definitely serious enough. It was serious enough for me to post this gentleman's car, who had been live streaming, stating that he was coming to do harm to me and zoomed by. Yes, got it. I'm also going to show what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 5. Mr. Francis asks, and this particular document that I'm going to be handing you, is that like a screenshot basically of your Ring camera, like the view of your Ring camera for your house? Yes, it is. Okay. Do you ever post that on social media or anything like that? This was my live stream. Okay. Where on my Instagram. Okay. So it was on a live stream on your Instagram, Mr. Francis. I would tender Defendant's Exhibit 5, Your Honor. The court, any objection? Mr. Roberts, no objection, Your Honor. The court admitted without evidence. Mr. Francis continues in questioning. In this particular instance, that's the day after that event that scared you and threats of your life. Is that correct? It's the day of. Question. It's the day of, and it's you showing a firearm to the people on your live. Correct? Correct. Got you. And in that instance, in one of the pictures, the screenshot at the top, it actually showed you smiling. Is that correct? Correct. Okay. I'm going to show you what's been marked as defendant. Can y'all see where he's trying to go, y'all? Can y'all see what he's doing? Can y'all see what the attorney trying to do here, girl? Whereupon the Defendant's Exhibit 6 was marked for identification, where there was a brief pause, Mr. Francis presumes his questioning. And in this particular document that I'm handing you, is that again your X handle? Yes, it is. Okay. Is that, and that is January 24th on that post, correct? Correct. Okay. I would tender Defendant's Exhibit 6, Your Honor. The court, any objection? Mr. Roberts, no objection, Your Honor. The court admitted without evidence. Mr. Francis continues. In that particular post, do you make the reference of, and I quote, gas that hoe up, referring to Mr. Palmer drive it to your, to Mr. Palmer drive it to your house? Yes. Okay. So within the span of this earth-shattering event to you, question, you have made multiple posts on that day after referencing it that you do not show any kind of fear or anything else as signified by gas that hoe up. Insinuating come and get me, as well as the fact of laughing emojis, as well as smiling with multiple individuals while brandishing a firearm. Is that correct? Well, yes. And okay. But when you asked me this question, we are having a good day when we were making a music video. Got you. This me posting where I said gas that hoe up The gentleman posted my address on his wall. The gentleman left and posted, I'm coming back to your home. His followers has been telling him to go back. To go back and do the things. To me. So it's yes, I'm in fear. Got you. So you're aware that addresses are public information, correct? I'm sorry. You're aware that addresses are public information. Yes, addresses are public information. I am aware of that. Yes. Okay. And you're aware of websites such as Zillow or Realtor.com or multiple different instances that give you values for homes, correct? And that's based off of the tax assessor's website, which is all public information, correct? That is correct. Okay. But doxing is still illegal. So when it comes to the doxing piece of it, have you ever read out loud any kind of podcast, any information dealing with my client whatsoever? No. Okay. So you've never referenced anything at all. Well, we were talking about credit reports and how many people have my address and how many people have been posting, my stuff. And I said, I know the dangers of that and I would never do that. Got you. I would never post that. So you did. I would never post a person's address. I would never post their phone number. I would never post their social security number. I would never post that because I don't post that kind of stuff. Right. So you've never done anything like that referring to my client at all. What do you mean? You've never talked about any of his credit report, his address, or anything else like that on social media? Well, we were talking about credit reports. We didn't particularly say anybody's in particular. Okay, whose credit report were you reading? It was online. Okay, it was online, but whose credit report was it? It was online. It was an array of credit reports. Okay, so it was just a random credit report and you just picked it out of a bunch and read it. It was there because I'm having this situation with Tasha K and Michelle ATL and Doodoo Brown. That's not what I'm asking. Was it Mr. Palmer's credit report? I mean, it could have been.
Oh my God.
Oh God, girl, they got it going on.
Just laugh.
Oh, they got it going on, girl. The baby, they got it going on. What's going on, Tit for Tack? Hey, Africa. What's going on, Black Panther? What's going on, Black Panther?
I'm blessed this year.
What's going on, Kenrick? Hey, y'all. What's going on, Thomas? Hey, everybody. My God, today. It could have been. Okay, it could have been. So, but all of this that happened, including him allegedly driving by your house, that happened before the ex parte was granted, correct? Yes, it did. Okay, and so the same thing with, and it's not allegedly. Mr. Palmer came to my home. It's not allegedly. Mr. Palmer came to my home. Question, and we can defer an opinion with the plaintiff's Exhibit 1 that they entered into when it came to the videos that were there. Were those after or before the ex parte was granted? I'm sorry, ask me that again, sir. So the videos that you gave to the state regarding the defendant in this case, number 1, 2, and 3, that they tendered in as plaintiff's exhibit number 1, that was before the ex parte. Before, okay, got you. That's what allowed the judge to give me the ex parte. Hold on. The ex parte. Got you. And so in this particular instance, has Mr. Palmer ever directly private messaged you, DM'd you, text you, or called you? I have Mr. Palmer blocked, but he has attempted. He has messaged me. He has jumped in my lives and my live streams while I was streaming live. Was this before or after the ex parte? This was before the ex parte. Okay, so since the ex parte was granted, has he reached out to you directly at all? He's indirectly reached out. That's not what I asked. Did he directly reach out? No, he did not. Okay. And you keep saying that he did it indirectly. And when it comes to that, did he tell anybody to tell you a specific message? Or was it he posted about you on his social media? He posted about me on his social media. He posted things about me on his social media with Trasha K, and that was a direct violation from the judge. The judge hand wrote that, and he was not supposed to do that. Right. And so, in fact, what the judge wrote was just social media. Was all he hand wrote. Correct. It didn't say that the individual, that the respondent of this ex parte TPO cannot post about Mrs. Madison Hinton. It just said social media was the only thing that the judge wrote, correct? Social media, and he said indirect, or mention of. Okay, it says and mention of. On the ex parte, he wrote and mention of specifically. Hold on, let me look. I might need to look. Looking at the one that was granted. Hold on. Whereupon the witness reviewed documents and it's hit. And yes, it says no mention. Mr. Francis continues, no mention of petitioner through any social media. And that's the ex parte. Yes. So this is not the ex parte. That's the 12th month order. I'm sorry? That's the 12th month order. That's the one that you got 2 weeks ago. So in the ex parte, it makes no mention of that. Isn't that right? I do have the ex parte. Okay, and it says, and the mention of on social media written in there, it says through social media. Okay, so when it comes to the communication, he was just posting on his social media, correct? About me. Okay, and he posted a legal document that he is allowed to file that had your name on it. Is that correct? Yes. Okay, and did he ever tag you in any of those posts or anything like that? No, he didn't tag me in those posts. Okay. Did he ever go on to your social media specifically and leave any messages for you after he has left messages? No. After the ex parte TPO? No. Okay. Mr. Francis, no further questions, Your Honor. Thank you. Redirect examination by the state. Mr. Roberts, question. So, Ms. Hinton, did the defendant make threats of physical violence towards you? Yes. Okay. I'm assuming you have firearms at your home. Yes, I do have firearms at my home. And are those for your personal protection? Those are, it's my Second Amendment right? Yes. Okay. And so these GUNs that are at your home, when he's, told the world he's coming to get you, that is correct. So you have GUNs there and for protection, correct? That is correct. Okay. Mr. Roberts, no further. Mr. Francis, briefly, Your Honor. Recross examination by Mr. Francis. Lone Legs attorney. Since we're mentioning amendments, you understand that it's an individual's First Amendment right to be able to put stuff out into a public space that some may even find repulsive, derogatory, extreme. It can continue on. Yes, Mr. Francis, I do. I stated at the top of the interview, at the top of the questioning, that I'm used to people making statements and stuff about me. What I'm not used to is somebody telling me that they're going to come and beat me and harm me. And do these things. I'm not used to that. So I know where you're going with this. So when I posted about protecting myself and protect the doll, I posted this stuff as a PSA to all the trans people who are going through the things like make sure you protect yourself. And all of that happened before the ex parte, correct? It happened before and after the ex parte. Yes, before and after it has happened. What happened after the ex parte? Elaborate on that for me. Well, after the ex parte, I still told the people that they need to protect themselves. Do everything legal, right? Like, don't do anything against the law. Like, don't just shoot somebody. Make sure that you call the police, get your police reports. And make sure you follow the law. Okay. And when you referenced the police report earlier, when it came to decap, did the police department themselves pull out any kind of warrants for my client? They gave me a warrant hearing. Oh, so you did a pre-warrant application. I did get a warrant application. Yes, got you. I have the warrant application here, but I understand. When it comes to after the ex parte, though, there was no direct communication that you testified to, and there was no instances where my client didn't post it on your social media, directly tagged you, or told a third party to deliver a message to you. Well, the third party did deliver the message, and who was that? Trasher K. And what was the message? The message is whatever he can't post about, she will. Okay. And after that, did she ever reach out to you directly and say, Mr. Palmer wants me to tell you XYZ? No, she said, no. What she said was, I'm trying to silence Mr. Palmer because they're trying to uncover some elaborate scheme of me doing fraud on my home, of which Mr. Palmer had posted about and gave her that information. Got you. Okay. And the basis for that fraud allegation stems from Mrs. Morgan. Is that correct? That is correct. Yes. And Miss Morgan, wow, has pled guilty in the state of New York. That I don't know. Okay. She is not here for me to even speak on her trial. Got it. So I don't want to speak on her trial. I don't know that. Got you. Thank you. Oh no. Clicking pen. Madam Court Reporter. I'm sorry, Judge. Your pen, Mr. Francis, I apologize. Not Maddie is making the nigga nervous. Madam Court Reporter. Your pen. I'm so sorry, Mr. Francis. No, you're fine. By Mr. Francis, he continues. So I'm not asking you about this trial specifically when it comes to it, but I can't speak on anything about Mrs. Morgan's case because I don't know anything about Mrs. Morgan's case. Got you. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So, but again, he never posted on your social media directly, correct? Who? Mrs. Morgan? Mr. Palmer? No. Well, yes, he has posted on. He has been in my chat. He's been in my chat, but that was before. Yeah, that was before. Okay. No further questions, Your Honor. Miss Hinton. Mr. Roberts, I have nothing, Your Honor. May this witness step down. The court, I have a question for clarification, and if there is no objection from counsel as to admitting a copy of the file regarding the petition for stalking temporary protective order, number here. Mr. Roberts, no objection from the state, Your Honor. Mr. Francis, no objection, Your Honor. The court, okay. But damn Court Reporter, Your Honor, is that going to be a court? The court, it is. Whereupon the court's Exhibit 1 was marked for identification and admitted into evidence. Ms. Hinton, thank you, Your Honor. The court gives me just one moment, ma'am. And what I'm going to do is I am going to ask the bailiff to make a copy of this. Does counsel for defense have it? Mr. Francis, I would like a copy, Your Honor. I have one, but it's the only original I have, as well as Exhibits 3 through 6 that I tendered. Your Honor, we only have one copy of those. The court, I need 3 copies of this, please. And while those copies are being made, we're going to take a 5-minute recess. We're going to be in recess until 6:35. You may step down, ma'am. Mrs. Hinton, thank you, Your Honor. The court, and when we resume, you can return to the stand. Thank you. Whereupon the witness left the witness stand, whereupon there was a brief recess. The court, are we ready to resume? Mr. Francis, I am, Your Honor. The court, all right. If we could please resume, Mrs. Hinton. If I can have you retake the stand, Ms. Hinton, I need to get back on the stand, Your Honor. Yes. Okay. The court, do you have that ticker? The clerk, which one? For yours. The court, court 1. The clerk, oh, sorry. Whereupon the witness returned to the witness stand. Ms. Hinton, thank you very much. Thank you. Do I need to swear again, Your Honor? The court, no. Ms. Hinton, okay. The court, you're still under oath. What has been admitted and marked without objection as to the court's Exhibit 1 is a copy of the file from the clerk's office that I was previously taking judicial note of in the case of Madison Chanel Renee Hinton versus Naquan Palmer. Mrs. Hinton, The court's case number here, copy of the packet has been provided to both state and defense, and a courtesy copy has been placed in front of the witness. And candidly, I am trying to understand the timelines in terms of what has been testified to versus what I have reviewed in this petition. If everyone could turn over to the petitioner's motion for contempt for sanctions and expedited rule 9C, whereupon there was a brief pause. Ms. Hinton, to the contempt, Your Honor, the court, yes, going to the second page of that, in reading at the bottom 4th paragraph where it has alleged that the defendant had violated the temporary protective order, and it says that constitutes those contacts constitutes a separate and independent violation of the court's order, and references copies of those posts are attached as Exhibit C. I then turn to Exhibit C of the petition. Ms. Hinton, if you could turn, do you see Exhibit C? Ms. Hinton, I think I'm a little off, Your Honor. I think something is up. The court, that's what I'm looking for. Ms. Hinton, okay. Whereupon the witness reviewed documents. Ms. Hinton, may I see it again, Your Honor? The court, you may. It says Exhibit C at the top, whereupon the witness reviewed the documents. Ms. Hinton, I don't know why I don't think I have. Oh, yes, I do. I'm sorry. The court, it's okay. If it indicates on the first page of the Exhibit C that there was a posting made on February the Ms. Hinton 15th. The court, the 15th. Ms. Hinton, The court, the second page of Exhibit C shows a posting of February 12th. Ms. Hinton, yes. The court, the third page of Exhibit C appears to be a copy of the TPO filed by the defendant against you in DeKalb County, Ms. Hinton? Yes. The court showing the filing date of the TPO, February 10th. So presumably that post would have been made after February the 10th. Ms. Hinton, the court flipping to the next page is a post that appears to be made after February the 10th. Next page. I done lost my goddamn page. Lost my shit. Anyway, flipping to the next page is a post that appears to be made on February the 15th. Ms. Hinton, yes, ma'am. The court flipping to the next page references regarding a home for $1.2 million, but appraised at $550,000, showing a post of February the 15th. Ms. Hinton, yes. The court, do you observe that? Ms. Hinton, yes. The court, the next page. My question is, when was that post made? Ms. Hinton, well, it's corresponding with the 15th post, Your Honor, because it has the same numbers. So you're looking at is the way that the person posted on, this is Twitter, and then this is Facebook, the court. But is it your testimony that those were made in the same day? Ms. Hinton, well, it's showing the 15th with the same information. It's the same information, the court. And so when I am looking at the second page that says the Whisperer, Ms. Hinton, yes, ma'am. The court, and there's a photograph that you have previously identified as your home, Ms. Hinton, yes, ma'am. The court, what is the significance of the hashtag TS Madison? Question mark. Ms. Hinton, well, that's my name and that's my home. My home is 1.2 million, and that's the photograph of my home. My home is in Stonecrest, the court. And you said that this is what I'm trying to understand. And I apologize because I honestly feel like I'm 892 years old right now. Baby. And we feel that old trying to understand your old ass, trying to understand this goddamn hashtag. Ms. Hinton, it's okay, ma'am. It's okay. The court. My 17-year-old son could probably give me an education on this, but this is what I'm trying to understand. Ms. Hinton, okay. The court. You indicated the photograph, the post that contains the photograph of your home. Yes, ma'am. Was on Facebook. Okay, so let me break it down for you, ma'am, so that you can understand. So I can do it like your son would do it or your daughter. The court, fair. Ms. Hinton. So what happens is the way that we do social media, like you would have to crop certain stuff to get an entire post on there. So sometimes you can post a picture or you can just post the verbiage. So if you're posting it like you're simulcasting it to different platforms, either the picture will post and it'll chop off the picture, or the verbiage will post. However, the person that's posting it will post the verbiage. Okay. Twitter is a spot, Your Honor, where you really just making typing sounds with the nails, posting things or posting words. Facebook is where you're going to post a picture and the words. The court, okay. Ms. Hinton. Instagram is where you're going to post the picture and then you post the caption. So it all, and it all depends on how you use the way that you post. Like, because the way they have this technology now is you can use one platform and you can press and send it simulcast like that. And the way it'll post words, or it'll post a picture and words, or it'll post that. I've been doing it for 20 years, probably as long as you've been a judge. I've been doing this for 20 years, so I know like how this works out. The court. So Ms. Hinton says, what my lawyer was trying to do, Your Honor, was show that, when she filed the motion for contempt, she was trying to go on the date of, okay, well, on the 12th, on the 10th, he posted the TPO with my name on it. On Exhibit C, he posted this on the 15th of so-and-so, Exhibit C. And because what he was trying to do was tell a story. So my home, the house I have in Conyers, Your Honor, I'm partnered with NASM Inc. NASM is an organization. I don't have a 501c. NASM Inc. has the 501c. So what he's trying to prove to his audience is I'm doing a government scam and I partner with these people and we're funneling money through this. And that's not true. That's just not true. So he's posting about the NASM trying to give all this information out. He also pulled up, because I know we didn't have enough time, Your Honor, to show all the evidence that I have, but he also was posting tax records. He was posting tax records, posting a lot of this stuff and saying that I haven't filed taxes in 5 years. Then he was posting like, well, look, she's a scammer because her house is 1.2 million. This is where it's assessed for only 500,000. So whatever she's doing in the middle, this is why it's outlined here. Like he outlined it here. It's 523,000, and then the land was 200,000, but the house is 1.2 million. So this means I'm doing a scam in between. So what the gentleman is doing is trying to pander to his audience that I'm stealing money, the court. So let me ask you a question. Going to that post that has a picture of what you identified as your home, Ms. Hinton, yes, that's my home, Your Honor. And you indicated that is a Facebook post, correct? This one is Facebook, judging by the way the circle is right here. Yes, this is Facebook post. Okay. And if I put a post on Facebook and I put hashtag TS Madison, yes, it will do. Is it the court? What that is my question. What is that? Okay, so the judge ain't heard a goddamn thing T.S. Madison tried to explain because this bitch still hung up on, bitch, what is a hashtag? What the fuck what does this hashtag mean? Ms. Hinton, okay, the court, what does that ultimately do? Ms. Hinton, what it will do, what a hash, oh, this chair is going down. How do you, okay, baby, girl. The goddamn BBL was sank in the goddamn cubicle chair, baby. I know that's right, bitch. Got ass so big like the sun. Okay. The court. So there's a handle on the side, I think. Miss Hinton. Yes, thank you, Your Honor. What a hashtag does, Your Honor, is it puts what you're posting in an algorithm. So anything that has T.S. Madison attached to it or D.O. Whisper attached to it, it'll put it in an algorithm of people that are looking up those names and looking up that information. So let's say today we're in court and I put hashtag Judge Sosobi. Anything that has your last name in it, it will come up. Like all your cases will come up. All the stuff you try, like whatever you've done, it will come up. So they get like a whole filing of everything, that you've done, or your communications that you've done will pop up. So what a hashtag does is it populates everything associated with a TS or a DL whisperer. The court. Is that something that you would then receive a notification on? Ms. Hinton says yes. The court, as a result of that hashtag, Ms. Hinton says yes, I would, yes. Okay, thank you. As a result of my questions, are there any additional questions on behalf of the state? And thank you for the clarification as to social media. Mr. Roberts, not by the state, Your Honor, the court, which I am not very proficient of, candidly. Ms. Hinton, yes, ma'am. The court, Mr. Francis, as a result of my questions, do you have any additional questions? Mr. Francis, yes, Your Honor. Recross-examination. Do you want to pick it up here?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
All right, cool. By Mr. Francis, question. In reference to the hashtag, so if I put a hashtag on my Instagram post, right? It's going to send you a notification that I posted and did a hashtag with TS Madison on it. It's going to send it directly to you. It all depends on if you have your notifications and stuff turned on, or how you have like I get Google alerts on my name, right? So I get alerted when there's hashtags. I get alerted when there's conversations. I get alerted anytime that somebody makes post about T.S. Madison. That's why you use hashtags and stuff like this, because it populates to give you notifications. Okay. So my question, and I want to be very clear about the way that I do this, just simply because I'm reading this from the Instagram help website. It doesn't notify your specific account. It just puts it into some metadata that is related to anything that has a similar hashtag. Yes. And if you have alerts, you will get an alert. Like I have Google alerts on my name. Right. So if you go now and you post, or you write or communicate anything about me now, I will get a Google alert. Every time that somebody makes a YouTube video about me, I get a Google alert because my name is in the alerts. And so I get those. I get the information. So I know who's communicating about me. Okay, right. But the hashtag itself doesn't send you a notification, not with Google Alert. It doesn't send you a notification to your specific social media platforms. it's just through Google alerts that you have been referenced. Yeah, reference. It's through, am I getting that correct? It's through, if you hashtag, okay, and you put my fucking name in it, I will get a Google alert. Okay. But for your specific social media, like Instagram, like, let's use this example of all of it. So it's whether it's YouTube, whether it's Twitter, I understand. The question that I've got is, so I understand you're going to get it on the Google alerts. If somebody messages, puts hashtag TS Madison on any platform, I get that use of it. Or just my, even my name. Right. The question I have specifically is, if Johnny has 3 apples, if I make an Instagram post, okay, on my Instagram, and I put hashtag TS Madison, is it going to alert your Instagram? It's not going to alert my Instagram, but I will get an alert. You will get a Google alert. Yes, I will get a Google alert. And that's an extra setting that you had to go through Google, or just for any mention of your name. For any mention of my name, I have that because I need to know what's going on. And is there ever an instance with Google alerts that you get like with your last name being Hinton? If I put something that says Hinton on it, but doesn't specifically say Madison Hinton on it, are you going to get a Google alert? Girl, no. the specifically TS Madison, specifically my show, like Outlaws Podcast, specifically anything that's specific to my brand. My brand is TS Madison. So anything specific to that, I will get alerted for that. Yes. Okay. Mr. Francis, no further questions, Your Honor. The court, anything further on behalf of the state? Mr. Roberts, yes, Your Honor. Redirect examination by Mr. Roberts. Question. So someone who posts on social media all the time, like someone who has their own podcast, or someone who has their own Twitter or X, Instagram, that sort of thing, like the defendant, would know that when they hashtag you, everybody's going to get it. They can click on your name in that, and that more than likely you're going to see it, correct? Well, that's why he hashtagged DL Whisperer too, so that it would pop up. It populates and pops up for him too, so he can watch the conversation around it and how much this is what we do to make money. So when we do this to make money, right? We need to know, like, when it pops up, who's having the conversation, who's talking about it, like how big it's going to get, how we can leverage that, how we can take those pieces of videos and stuff and chop them up and put it on social media to make money. Your Honor, I want to say this, and I want to say this to you too, Mr. Francis. Mr. Francis, of course, Miss Hinton. I don't know Mr. Palmer. Mr. Palmer could have went through his whole life doing commentary, doing these things. It got real for me when Mr. Palmer started talking about that he was going to attack me. I don't pay Mr. Palmer any attention. Okay, June 12th, when I made that stuff about June 12th, Mr. Palmer specifically atted me, Mr. Francis. Miss Hinton. He was adding me on Twitter. So on Twitter, they can specifically at you. So when he was specifically adding me because he wanted a response from me, Mr. Francis. And Your Honor, may I ask one brief question on that one, just to clarify the point? The court, you may. Recross-examination by Mr. Francis. Question. So if I'm understanding the difference between and I'm familiar with Twitter and X, what it is, whatever it's called. Yeah, you're young. You should know. The court. I was going to say that's because you're substantially younger than me, Mr. Francis. Mr. Francis, I understand, Your Honor. I just want to make sure that I'm doing it the appropriate way. By Mr. Francis. Question. So with that, my understanding of the difference between a hashtag, and a at. So if I at you, on X, I know, it immediately alerts your Twitter account that I
Hold
have
on.
said
Can you
something
pause
about.
it?
Hmm?
Baby, I would have to start throwing motherfucking typewriters, tables, overturning goddamn schools, bitch. It ain't no motherfucking way, bitch. Y'all really have allowed the hashtag to put the court into a whole chokehold, bitch.
A reach. A reach.
Insanity. And these are the motherfuckers who we have in the Supreme Court, bitch, voting over our reality. And you baby, get them old ass niggas and bitches out of motherfucking office, baby. It's ridiculous. No wonder the country upside down.
No shade. Go ahead and eat this tapioca. No shade. Girl. What's that? Let's see. Mr. Francis. I understand, Your Honor. I just want to make sure that I'm doing it the appropriate way. By Mr. Francis, question. So with that, my understanding of the difference between a hashtag, and the at. So if I at you, on X, I know, it immediately alerts your Twitter account that I have said something about you or to you. Yes. Okay. But a hashtag is for engagement. A hashtag, yes, is for engagement. But I do get an alert on Google, yes. And that's an additional setting that you may have made, but it's not through your social media accounts. Well, it's on my social media accounts. No, I understand it's tracking your social media accounts. But I'm saying that your social media accounts are not the ones being pinged where it's giving you a notification. It's through Google that you have been mentioned, excuse me. Well, I want to say this to you, Mr. Francis. Of course, when you have celebrity status, with stuff, there are different ways because we want to know who's talking about us. Like, what's the gossip on this? Like, what's going on? So, they put
Can we
stuff
put
in
a pause
place.
here?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't go look personally because I know I'm only 2 cucumbers away from an orange jumpsuit. So I personally don't trigger my brain up because I know I'm not well. I know I'm like
I'm screaming.
1 block away from becoming Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, Lord.
So, baby, when I get up on this motherfucker, I do my job and then I haul ass. And
No shade.
the conscious crew know not to bring me no bullshit unless it's literally life or motherfucking death. Out of that, bitch, let the birds chirp because see, I'm not well. I'm not well. So I keep myself out of accumulating knowledge that don't turn me into being armed and very much so dangerous. Personally. That's why I've been able to be on this motherfucker as long as I've been doing social media with being reasonably sane. Because baby, I can't. Yeah, see, I know I'm too gangster inside I know I'm too gangster. I'm real life gangster. I come from a long line of gangsters. I come from a long line of killers. So, I got to keep that part of my DNA under wraps, and I can only do that by turning my bike and not looking. If I look, bitches gonna have to sue me and have to file TPOs like they have. Then they're gonna have to do that because nobody can take me once they've aroused Pennywise and Derry.
Oh shit.
So I come and do my job, and then I walk away. I'm not the person that can look. There are plenty of people who can. I can't look. My Jesus ain't set up like that. My Jesus only works long as I'm looking directly at Jesus the whole time, bitch.
Okay.
If I don't look at Jesus, baby, I'm reneging. And on all my sainthood. So I come, I click, I entertain, I hopscotch, and then I haul ass. And then I do it all over again. Okay, go ahead.
No shade. I'm the same way. My thing is, I'm like T.S. Madison, bitch. You can do what you want to do, but don't put your hands on me because once you put your hands on me, you may pull up, but you're not going to pull back. Okay. So again, we want to know who's talking about us, like who's gossiping about us, like what's going on. So, they put stuff in place to where we get notifications. Uh-huh. Now, I do have Google Alerts set on high, because there's always conversation around things that I've done. But particularly Twitter, if you at me on Twitter, I get it immediately on Twitter. With the hashtag, yes, it will populate and I will get a Google alert, bitch. Every senior citizen must have life alert. Girl, you're going to get the alert. All right. And my final question is speaking about your celebrity status being in the public eye, you understand that as a public figure, people are going to talk about you. Yes, because you're putting yourself into public. Yes, I understand that, Mr. Francis. All right, but I'd like to elaborate on that last part. Of course, go ahead, you can. I understand that. But it's not. Even though Zillow is there, even though your tax records are there, you don't have the right to take that and post that to your audience and to tell your audience, I'm going to harass you or I know where you live. You don't have the right to do that. Answer me this, even as the defendant's attorney, if I went home right now and I got on my Twitter, my Instagram, or my Facebook and I took your address, which you didn't give me permission at all, and I post your address and say, come get me, will you want that to come down? Would you or would you not? I wouldn't care one way or the other. Oh, okay. You don't have children? Oh, no, I do have children, but I also exercise my Second Amendment right. So there you go. There you go. The court. Anything further? Mr. Francis shakes his head negatively. The court. All right. Any objection to this witness being excused? Mr. Francis? No, Your Honor. The court. All right. Thank you. You may step down, Miss Hinton. Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going in there. I would have loved her to ask that motherfucking baldy wonder this. Since you up in here, bitch, trying to cut cartwheels and do intellectual gymnastics, while we up in this bitch, I love to hear from you as a public servant and as a man of the law. So what the hell do you actually think reasonably constitutes someone pursuing a restraining order or a TPO? Bitch.
Yeah, educate.
Go ahead.
No, you good. All right. What was that? Thank you so much, Your Honor. And I'm going to give you a one-on-one class on how to use your social media. Whereupon there was laughter in the courtroom. The court. My 17-year-old has tried many, many a time. Whereupon the witness left the witness stand. Mr. Roberts. Your Honor, I would like to call Stacy Weaver next. The court. Thank you. Whereupon the witness came to the witness stand. Whereupon the witness was duly sworn. Deputy Stacy Weaver. Having been duly sworn in, was examined and testified as follows. Direct examination by Mr. Roberts. Question. And if you will begin by starting with your name for the record. Stacy Weaver. Okay. And ma'am, who are you employed by? I am employed by the Gilmer County Sheriff's Office. I'm about to say Sheriff's Office. Okay. And in what capacity are you employed by the Gilmer County Sheriff's Office? I am in the Uniform Patrol Division. Okay. And are you a post-certified law enforcement officer? Yes, I am. And in February and the first part of this year, were you post-certified and employed with the Gilmer County Sheriff's Office? Yes. Okay. How did you get involved in this case? I was working. Actually got a call to service in the zone that I was working. I can't remember the date that it came in. Was it February 3rd? Okay. Or would it refresh your memory if you were allowed to look at your report? Yes. Yes, please. Thank you. Whereupon a document was provided to the witness. Deputy Weaver. There are so many dates that I... thank you. January 24th. Yes. By Mr. Roberts. Question. And then what did you do when you got the call on January 24th? The call was for me to speak to someone about harassment coming from somebody in the area that came to their house and posted pictures of their house on social media and making threats about them. Okay. And then what did you do about that when you got that complaint? I called the complaint, which is Madison Hinton. I activated my body camera before I called her, and I always do when I make phone calls on patrol and having to do with cases. And I spoke to Madison, and she stated that she had been having issues with Naquan Palmer since June of 2025 when she did a post on YouTube, or not a post, a podcast on YouTube with Nene Leakes from the Housewives of Atlanta. And I guess it was controversial, and she had been having issues with him since then. And as of the day prior, he had showed up to her house and posted video of him live streaming while he was driving by her house so everyone could see her address, making threats to her that he wants her unalived, that he's going to beat her up. Let's see. It was a lot of information that day, and that he lived in Gilmer County. She also told me that she had already filed a report with DeKalb County, where she lives. Okay. And so, did you give her some information about what to do from there? Did you begin some sort of investigation of your own? I did. I had her send me all the posts, everything that she had been talking about that Naquan had posted on his social media. And I also reached out to DeKalb Police Department and spoke to the officer that responded to Madison and took the initial report in DeKalb County with him showing up at her house. Okay. And then at some point, did Madison get a temporary protective order or ex parte? Yes, she did. Okay. Uh-huh. And then did you go further in your investigation after that? After she got the temporary protective order? I did when she contacted me on can I look at my phone for the date? Because I was in training on the date that she sent me a message. Would that refresh your memory? It would. Okay. And I'll show it to you. It's on my work phone, Mr. Francis. I trust you. Whereupon the witness reviewed her phone. Deputy Weaver. I just need to look at a date for training. It was February the 18th. I had received a text from Madison letting me know that she had already received a temporary protective order because I had given her the information to contact North Georgia Mountain Crisis Network. And that's how you obtain a protection order here in Gilmer County. And then I had given her the case number and told her to contact me about getting the protective order. And she had sent me all the information that the temporary protective order was in place and all the exhibits that her attorney had added to it to show that the temporary protective order had been broken all fucking ready by Mr. Roberts. Okay. And then you obviously swore out the warrant, right? Uh-huh. And do you know anything about the defendant's arrest? Yes, I was there. Okay. And where did you go to effect or execute the arrest warrant? Forgive me for not remembering the numerics, but I know it started with a 2. Okay. And I know it was in Kusawate? I was about to say Uchi Coochie, girl. It was in Uchi Coochie Kusawate. Okay.
Might as well be.
Okay. I can't remember the address off the top of my head. Okay. And let me ask you this. What county is Coochie in? Coconut water is in Gilmer County. Okay. Uh-huh. And when you say Kusawate, we talking about Kusawate River Resort? Yes. It's a neighborhood. In the neighborhood. Uh-huh. Okay. Did any other officers go with you? Yes. I think there were 3 other officers with me that day. Okay. Uh-huh. And did you all go into the home when you arrested the defendant? Or I didn't go into the home. I know Deputy Jeff Ellington went into the home, and that was after the arrest was effected, and he was searched incident to arrest because he was wanting his wallets. And okay, when you say he, who are we talking about? Sorry, Naquan was wanting his wallet. Okay. And Deputy Ellington went in the home with the homeowner to retrieve his wallet for him. Okay. And did Ellington make some observation about the inside of the home? To my knowledge,
Uh-oh. Is it me? Can you guys hear me? Because Bubs done went out. Can y'all hear Bubs? Or is it just me? Oh, it's Bubs. His phone might have died. Oh, okay, it's him. All right, I'm gonna pick up where he left off at. I don't know what happened, but his phone died. Okay. And to my knowledge, I'm sure he did, but I am not privy to that knowledge. Okay. I didn't know if you had talked to him or I have not. Okay. Okay. And you saw the videos where the defendant is filming or recording videos, correct? Yes. Now, mind you, this is a whole officer of the law. So for all the people talking about, oh, they submitted a bunch of fake receipts and a bunch of fake da-da-da-da-da-da. Girl, these receipts have been approved of by Naquan's attorney. They haven't even even the attorney hasn't contested the evidence. An officer also verified and did her own investigation, Miss Stacy Weaver. So debunked narratives. And you saw the videos where the defendant is filming or recording videos, correct? Yes. And did that correspond to the defendant's home in Consciouztv? To my knowledge, yes. Okay. And I believe you told me something about the defendant's vehicle. And yes, the vehicle that was seen driving in front of Madison's home on January 23rd was parked on, typically, before we go execute a warrant, we like to see what the home looks like before we go. So we know any points of entry or exit. Okay. And when I pulled up that picture, it was on Google Maps, and the picture was taken at the beginning of this year in 2026, and the vehicle that Naquan Palmer had been driving was actually in the driveway of that picture. How about that? Okay. And the dates that you mentioned in your warrant, did you watch videos or some sort of communications that were made to T.S. Madison or Madison Hinton? Yes. Okay. Mr. Roberts, that's all I have, subject to redirect the court. Cross-examination, Mr. Francis, the attorney. Good afternoon. Hi. So I've just got a couple of questions. With the specific instance that you took the warrants out for, you were contacted for a second time by Mrs. Hinton? Yes. Okay. And you said that there was something compiled that her attorney had put together that you then reviewed. Yes. Okay. I'm going to show you what's been marked as Court's Exhibit 1 by Mr. Francis. Question. And I'm going to be turning the Exhibit C on it. I'm going to be showing you this is Court's Exhibit 1, and this is the second part of it. It's two parts. Okay. Is this Exhibit C what she showed to you? Can I look at my phone? I'll show you exactly what, I believe this is the same exact text that I had gotten from her because I was referencing earlier when she pulled this out. I just have to find it. Whereas the witness reviewed her phone, Deputy Weaver. It is right here. Yes. Yeah. This is what I have from in my phone. This was a text from Madison. By Mr. Francis. Thank you. You said that you saw on Google Map the defendant's car. Do you remember what color it was? It was black in color. Okay. So did Mrs. Hinton, after she called you the second time, did she ever show you anything where Mr. Palmer called her, posted on her personal social media, emailed her, or had another individual do any of those? No. Okay. I had asked if that had happened. And no. Okay, so the only thing that she showed you was he posted on his social media about her, correct? Okay, Mr. Francis, no further questions, Your Honor. The court redirect Mr. Roberts to state, nothing for this witness, Your Honor. She may be excused. The court, she may. Whereupon the witness left to stand. The court, any additional witnesses? Mr. Roberts to state, no, Your Honor. At this point, the state would rest. The court, thank you. Anything from the defense? Mr. Francis, the attorney. The only thing, Your Honor, is from the defense would be a copy of some character reference letters. Here we go, girl. Angela Stankin and Napalm Palmer's handler, girl. Write in their character witness letter, child. Let me take this down because people got, oh, your internet had went out. Okay, cool. Well, how the hell your internet went out, but you on the internet? I posted in the chat. I'm still listening. I'll hop back on with my internet back on again. Okay. Oh shit. Now you're fucking me up. Bloop. Okay. Oh, let me I meant to take this down because it's gonna be addresses and phone numbers on some of these character witness letters, child. So let's get into this. The only thing, Your Honor, I would like to present some character reference letters in regards to bond that I've marked as Defendants Exhibit 7, and I've given the state a copy of it, whereupon Defendants Exhibit 7 was marked for identification. Mr. Roberts, that is correct, Your Honor, and we do not have any objections. Mr. Francis, may I approach, Your Honor? The court, you may. Defense 7 is admitted without objection. Mr. Francis, thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Roberts, Your Honor, I want to give the court a summary of the defendant's criminal history at this appropriate time. Oh my God. Jesus, the state is about to give the rundown, Mr. Francis, and that would be the only objection that I would have, Your Honor. I don't necessarily see why all of the defendant's criminal history would be relevant in this particular instance. The court is absolutely relevant, particularly in terms of the factors that the court would have to consider. Mr. Francis, of course, Your Honor. The court, are you objecting to a proffer, or are you going to make him swear? Mr. Francis, no, he can pro. The court, are you going to make him swear in a witness to get it in? Mr. Francis, no, he can prefer, Your Honor. The court, okay, give me just 1 second, please. Mr. Francis, of course. Whereupon the court reviewed documents. The court, Mr. Roberts, okay. Your Honor, as to criminal history, the defendant does not have an adult criminal history, but he does have a juvenile criminal history, and that would show as follows. On May 10th of 2012, the defendant was brought before the juvenile court of Ben Hill County, Georgia, for unruly, simple battery, disorderly conduct. Then on June 18th of 2012, the defendant was brought back before the Ben Hill County Juvenile Court for unruly. In 2014, hold on, let me share this, girl. 2012 as a juvenile. See that? In 2014, this defendant was placed on probation in Ben Hill County Juvenile Court for 2 counts of terroristic threats. This is 2012, 2014. And then again in 2014, the defendant was placed on probation in Ben Hill County in the Juvenile Court thereof for a simple battery. The court, were the terroristic threats a designated felony by order of the Juvenile Court? Mr. Roberts, say that again, Your Honor. The court, were they considered to be a designated felony in the juvenile court setting? Can you hear me, Bubs?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, you're loud, live, and in color.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Roberts, say that again, Your Honor. Were they considered to be a designated felony in the juvenile court setting? Mr. Roberts, I do not know. The court, okay. Mr. Roberts, I'm very unfamiliar with juvenile court, whereupon there was a brief pause. The court argument, Mr. Roberts, Your Honor, I'll waive opening and reserve concluding on mine. Mr. Francis, Your Honor, this is definitely an interesting case as far as what all it entails. As to the preliminary hearing in regards to whether or not sufficient probable cause of a violation of a TPO underneath the aggravated stalking statute here, I referenced earlier a case referred to as Shan versus Ellis. That is going to be the Supreme Court. That's going to be statute here, and that is a 2015 case. The reason that I'm referencing that case again is because of the factual basis of that case is not that different from this particular one. In that particular instance, Matthew Chan operated a website, a specific dedicated website, where he published nearly 200 posts critical of an individual known as Linda Ellis, a poet was known for enforcing her copyrights specifically. In these posts, they were antagonistic, mean-spirited, and publicized information about Miss Ellis that was either publicly available or things that she would want an individual to keep private. Specifically, one of the posts was actually an open letter to Ellis referring to her in the second person and threatening to publicize additional information about her and her family if she continued to copyright her specific works. In that particular instance, Chan did not deliver these posts directly to another individual. He posted them on specifically the website to where Ms. Ellis only learned about it by going to that specific website and voluntarily did so. In that particular instance, there were, the Georgia Supreme Court held that that was not sufficient enough for aggravated stalking in regards to direct or indirect contact. In this particular instance, it's undisputed that Mr. Palmer did not, after the ex parte was granted, given Court's Exhibit 1, as well as the testimony of Mrs. Weaver, as well as Mrs. Hinton, did not deliver anything to Mrs. Hinton and did not call Mrs. Hinton, did not text, did not have another individual do so. But he did not post on her specific social media. He did not go to her Facebook and post on her wall. He did not at her, as we decided earlier about the function of Twitter. He did not do anything except simply post on his own social media items that either mention her name or could be correlated to her. In that particular instance, again, in order to see that, you would have to go to Mr. Palmer's specific social media to see it. It was not indirect in the way that she is describing. Specifically, it is the exact same in this particular instance of far as Chan versus Ellis, where akin to the website dedicated to an individual, somebody can go and post as long as they are not tagging a person or sending it to them directly or having another individual go and send it to them. They are not committing the act of aggravated stalking. When it comes to bond, in this particular case, I have given Your Honor a bunch of character reference letters on behalf of Mr. Palmer. I want to put a pause in it. I understand that he here is trying to litigate the substance of stalking. Baby, the stalking was him driving to that goddamn lady's house, circling her cul-de-sac, making the terroristic threats. That was the stalking. Doxing her, etc. What is doxing? Doxing is when you take either exclusively private information or publicly available information and weaponize it maliciously against said target. Doxing does not include rather the person goes and finds the information on their own, whether the information is sent to them, whether they just Google their own fucking name. It's fucking irrelevant. That's why I wish her attorneys would have also pushed for the doxing charge along with the aggravated stalking. We're probably going to see once again some upgraded charges around hate crimes, etc. But that man physically came to her home. It was premeditated as well. He revved up his audience to anticipate him pulling up. He made good on his word, and then he insisted upon making threats right afterwards with the intent to also show up to her birthday party in a costume, bragging about how because she was having a costume party for her birthday, that it would be easy for him to invade her birthday shindig because they wouldn't know who was under the mask, etc. This motherfucker here is goofy. And this is why I couldn't be a district attorney. I couldn't be an attorney because I couldn't get paid to help make other people's lives a living hell. It's wild. In this particular instance, he does not have significant ties to the community. He does live there. This is the reason that the case is actually up here. He does not have any significant risk of fleeing from the jurisdiction or failing to appear in court. He does not pose any significant threat or danger to any person. This man lost his goddamn mind. The community or any other property in the community. He poses no significant risk of committing any additional felonies up, even though the man is literally online saying there is nothing in the law that could stop him in his terror. Even also said in one of his jail calls that are available online that when he gets out, he plans on getting right back to regular smuggler business. He poses no significant risk, though, of committing any additional felonies and until trial, and no significant risk of intimidating any witnesses or otherwise obstructing the administration of justice. This is an instance to where this is a one-off for Mr. Palmer. He's in his adult life, has never been arrested. It's an instance to where there are fundamental legal, while he's in there with 2 more damn TPOs against him to establish a pattern of conduct. My God, today. My God, today. No wonder he's losing, girl. No wonder that they're losing faith in the council, girl, because, see, the thing about lawyering is you can't litigate just flat out lies. You have to take the case against your client and the evidence that supports that case and then find a way to maneuver around the facts. But you can't just all out deny the facts. You can't just pull a wool. You can't put a curtain over the, but then as if there's not 132 pieces of motherfucking evidence and a whole goddamn flash drive and a whole goddamn hard drive full of fucking domestic threats, terroristic threats, premeditated motherfucking threats, pictures and images and the whole motherfucking audio clips. I mean, everything under the goddamn sun. And you're sitting here saying, girl, he's not a threat to the community, Judge.
And that's also crazy real quick before you continue. Like, have you forgotten that when he sat down with Trash and Coochie K, that he said that he wanted to lobby and actually do what he can to stop trans rights?
Yeah,
so he already has a motive on what he wants to do.
He also said in her interview that he wanted to beat her and Cherry's ass.
Right there, in 4K. In 4K.
And 4K on Trash K. And that interview came out after the TPO.
Wow.
My God, today. It's an instance to where there are fundamental legal issues as it regards to whether or not this was a violation of an ex parte, or if it's an instance of where it's infringing upon the First Amendment right to speech to say whatever you would like to say to a public forum, as long as the same doesn't meet certain criteria, akin to a conspiracy theorist that goes out and says that we'll use Alex Jones, for an instance. The dude will go out there and say a lot of stuff off the wall stuff about individuals, saying that people are aliens, saying people are lizard people, that there's a global cabal that everybody ties into. However, when you subject yourself into the public forum, into the public eye, people can talk about you. That's part of being a public figure. It's also an individual. It's also an individual's First Amendment right to be able to say stuff that even is considered controversial. In this particular instance, what Mr. Palmer said, is it controversial? Yes. Did it go directly to Mrs. Hinton? No. Did he tag her? No. Should he be given a bond? Yes. And the individual should be given a bond based off of the factors laid out. Thank you, Your Honor. The court, thank you. Mr. Roberts, Your Honor. OCGA section, which is the stalking statute, states, quote, okay, come on, education. A person commits the offense of stalking when he or she follows, places under surveillance, or contacts another person at or about a place or places without the consent of the person for the purposes of harassing and intimidating the other individual. Oh, baby, he meets all of that criteria. OCGA statute here prohibits that activity after a temporary protective order or other order ordering that defendant basically cease and desist and not engage in the activity anymore. This defendant began, and of course, it's necessary that a pattern be shown as far as aggravated stalking goes. And I think that we have shown that today. This began the middle of last year. This defendant has made threats of physical violence, and this is where I think this case diverges from the Shan case. Those were sort of passive posts on social media. This went far beyond that. This defendant made physical threats against Madison Hinton. This defendant went to Madison Hinton's home and videotaped it and showed it for the world to see, to show what he had done, that he could reach out and that he could touch her and that he could hurt her and that he could make good on his threats. And then he proceeded to go further than that and delve into her personal life and her businesses and that sort of thing. And the whole purpose of every single one of these posts, either himself or through other people, was to intimidate and harass Madison Hinton. And he did it all because she is a trans woman. And everything he did, I think the court touched on this, and this is the nail, the hammer that hit the nail of this case is that hashtag. And the whole purpose of the hashtag in that post was so that other people could click on that and see all of this. And it was meant for her to be able to see it. He is social media savvy. He knew that would get to her. That was his slick way of getting to her and making sure that she heard these threats, that she knew about all these things that he says that he can do to her. And he's also flaunted in one of the videos that we presented as evidence that nobody's going to keep him in jail. Nobody's going to keep him from doing this. And Your Honor, I asked the court to bind this over as far as the preliminary hearing part. Okay, baby, you better bind Nancy ass, baby.
Okay.
I bind you, girl, and from committing harm unto others and to yourself, man.
Thank you.
But I also asked the court to deny this defendant bond because I think he is a threat to contact persons in the community and hurt persons in the community. And one of those is Miss Madison, and there was some evidence in this case that he has done the same thing to others and that other people have had to get temporary protective orders. This goes beyond the pale of some sort of typical everyday, social media beef between two keyboard warriors. On period.
Come on now.
Yeah, that's what you hating assholes are, bitch. That's what you hating assholes is. Ho, you heard it from the attorney, girl. You keyboard warrior ass bitches. And I believe that if this defendant is given bond and he gets out, he will continue to commit further felonies. He will commit violations of this protective order. He will further obstruct justice and get his followers to do the same. And I'm asking the court to bind this over for aggravated stalking and to deny this defendant bond at this time. The court, as to the motion for preliminary hearing and what is incumbent upon the court to look at regarding the context of that, and particularly as the language that is set forth in the warrant against the defendant for aggravated stalking, specifically laying out that he knowingly, willingly, and intentionally violated the temporary protective order issued in this case, providing that there were a social media post that has been entered as evidence of the defendant's violation on the dates of February the 26th, February the 12th, February the 13th, and the 15th, being multiple posts. Mr. Francis, particularly with the Chan case, raises a very important point. And the Georgia Supreme Court in Chan versus Ellis established the principle that posting about someone on social media does not automatically constitute conduct or contact under the Georgia stalking statute. And in reading Chan versus Ellis, one of the things that the court emphasized is that for conduct to constitute stalking by contact, there must be communication that is directed at the victim. And then I went a little further in terms of the research, and there is an additional case coming out of the court appeals being Bondi versus Ryan. Here's that case law there. It's a 2021 case. And again, in that case, the Court of Appeals addressed an issue where the defendant posted on Snapchat calling the victim obscene names and stating he wished that she would DIE. And the Court of Appeals went so far as to put the actual language of the post in the body of that opinion. And frankly, the language used was absolutely deplorable. Then you look at an additional case being Calhoun versus Harrell. In case law there, it's a 2024 case having to do with the reversal of a 3-year stalking protective order based on Facebook postings. And one of the highlighting issues for the court is determining contact that is directed at the victim. Additionally, as to establishing a pattern, but also developing and ensuring that any restrictions on First Amendment rights must be narrowly tailored. So in taking that into consideration, and particularly as it was addressed by Mr. Francis in the opening argument, and in looking at OCGA, section 16590, subsection A2 under the particular statute, which will be stalking and not aggravated stalking. It talks about in violation of many judicial orders, including a temporary protective order, that it prohibits harassment or intimidation of another person from broadcasting, publishing, including electronic publication, the picture, name, address, phone number of a person or whose benefit the order was made without that person's consent. And then in looking at that, and was part of the Exhibit C that was attached to the petition for contempt on or between. And I was not clear on the date candidly as it related to the petition and the attached exhibits for which I took judicial notice, that as part of Exhibit C between February 10th of this year and February 15th of this year, the defendant posted a photograph of a portion of the temporary protective order out of decap that bore the name of Miss Hinton, the alleged victim in this case. And then you look at the post that Miss Hinton testified to that is also part of Exhibit C. That post the photograph, the information surrounding her home, and in reading forward and in looking at stalking statute as well, the aggravated stalking statute under 16591 subsection A, providing that aggravated stalking occurs when a person in violation of many orders, including the temporary protective order, follows, places under surveillance, or contacts another person at or about a place or places without the consent of the other person for the purposes of harassing and intimidating the other person. And then in looking in the February 15, 2026, Facebook hashtag TS Madison, to which Ms. Hinton indicated through several portions of her testimony that she is TS Madison. And I think this is well established by the evidence that before the court, that the defendant was well aware of the fact that Ms. Hinton identifies as TS Madison on social media, absolutely directed that contact towards her. I believe that based on the testimony and the evidence presented, and it has been shown that the defendant's acts toward Mrs. Hinton constitute a pattern and, of course, of conduct sufficient to satisfy the burden that is upon the state today as far as the preliminary hearing goes. It candidly causes me great concern that the defendant drove his vehicle from Gilmore County to DeKalb County on January 23rd of this year, post about it on social media all the way there, in addition to his vehicle being shown as the testimony presented in the social media posting. Law enforcement has testified that they identified that being the same vehicle that was at the victim's house, that was located at his home and was shown on a Google Map picture. When I am hearing that historically there are posts that the defendant is making that is targeted at Mrs. Hinton that is using verbiage such as, quote, gonna knock B in head, end quote, I want B's dead, you never know when I'm watching, I'm going to get T.S. Madison. See, but they didn't know that the judge had done her motherfucking due diligence, bitch. Baby, they didn't think, baby, that the judge had do her motherfucking due diligence. And
I
then
may not work a computer, but I know how to listen.
And then, bitch, I know how to read and I know how to remember, bitch, what I read. I know how to listen, bitch. I know how to recall what the fuck I have listened to. And then it goes so far in the videos that were shown in States Exhibit 1 that any bond that you set today, I get out regardless. Quote, no bond keeping me from getting this hoe, end quote, or words to that effect, indicates that regardless of what is written on a piece of paper is not going to be sufficient to ensure that the defendant does not pose a significant threat to any person or to the community, and that the defendant does not pose a significant threat of committing a felony pending trial, and that the defendant does not pose a significant risk of intimidating witnesses. So the state will find, the court will find that the state bore its burden of proof and that the warrant will stand against the defendant based upon the words of the defendant. My God, that's key. That's key shit right there. Okay? Not the words of T.S. Madison. Not the words of the state. Not the words of friends and family. But the words of Naquan, locked up and won't be let out, Palmer. The defendant's own words, bitch, is why his ass will stay in the chains in this motherfucker.
Miss Trunchbull's choky.
Get this bitch off my Jumbotron. And when I hear phrases such as bond won't stop me based on the defendant's own word, the court is denying bond based upon significant threat and danger to any person, to the community or property in the community, significant risk of committing felony pending trial, and a significant risk of intimidating witnesses. Is there anything on behalf of the state that needs clarification regarding the court's findings and order? Mr. Roberts, no, Your Honor. The court, on behalf of the defense, Mr. Sorry-ass Francis, no, Your Honor. The court, thank you. With that being said, we will stand in recess. All parties in attendance may be excused. Thank you to the Gilmore County Adult Detention Center for bearing with us. I understand that it is 7:30, but thank you for your assistance, not in just this case, but in everyone else today. Thank you. Court is motherfucking adjourned. Baby. The judge was motherfucking swinging, but we got these character witness letters shy.
Yeah.
And of course, they got the exhibits. Okay. I don't want to show some of this because I don't know where addresses are and where they not. But you know, it's shit that y'all done seen, child, because y'all been following everything through and through, by and by, of him terrorizing her, door cam footage, the whole nine, etc. But we can get to these character witness letters. So there is a letter by Shyvon Jackson, and I guess we can take turns of reading a letter if you want to.
Okay, that's fine. It's Jackson. Ooh, you want to start off? Or you want me to start off?
I can start it off.
Okay.
With Miss Jackson. Dear Judge, I am pleased to write this letter in support of Naquan Palmer, whom I have known for 28 years as my cousin. My name is Shyvon Jackson, and I am a technical support engineer for McKesson. While attending Georgia State University, Naquan worked as a tutor on campus, going above and beyond to help and provide assistance to students lacking knowledge and understanding with their courses. He instilled confidence within students, ensuring their skills will improve. Naquan is a sociable, enthusiastic, and lively. He always greets others with a smile and politeness. During his senior year of college, Naquan and I volunteered in a Feed the Homeless event, where he was given the opportunity to meet and interact with people who were less fortunate, which will include his future self. Naquan did not break any laws and should be granted a bond. Did these bitches not hear the motherfucking evidence? You know what? You know what? They're right. Had you hoes actually showed up to court to support his ass, you would have actually heard the evidence against his ass.
well.
But as we know, girl, it was desolate and destitute on his side of the courtroom. Naquan did not break any laws and should be granted a bond. Once the TPO was granted, he obeyed the court order and refrained from any further interaction and or communication towards the other parties. A good thing the courts didn't find that to be in favor of him. Signed, his raggedy ass cousin. You can read the next one from Rakinda Stewart, a longtime friend of Naquan Palmer.
Okay. To whom this may concern, my name is Rakita Stewart. I'm going to try to read this because, baby, the punctuation is Lord. A longtime friend of Naquan Palmer. I'm writing this letter on behalf of my friend, who I've always known to be a great friend and most definitely loyal. I prefer to call him Quan. Quan has been one of my best friends since 5th grade. We've always remained close throughout the years, even when life got in the way. Quan is one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life, and I always preferred him to become a therapist because he would always know the exact truth or answers behind anything. Not many people get to see the side of him that I've known most of my life, and I feel as though him being in his sexuality causes him to experience a lot of negative outcomes that he has gone through so far in his life. He's caring of all his friends that he has and is always there to be a shoulder or give advice. He's not a monster and he's not a bad person. And I truly hope that the judge will be understanding of the situation and allow him to fix his mistakes. Quan is book smart and has always been. He doesn't do drugs. He doesn't steal. He's always been top of our class and always cared about succeeding in school and in life. I love dearly and hope that this letter wasn't sent too late and can still be helpful in court. Again, my name is Rakita Stewart. I am a sanitation specialist. And then there's information here for the judge. That's it.
Should have sanitized his ass. Your Honor, I am writing this letter on behalf of Naquan Palmer character. I have known Naquan since the 4th grade when I moved from Miami, Florida, 0304, and I was the new girl at the school. All of the other kids were mean to me, and he welcomed me with open arms and became one of my best friends till this day, 18 years later. In 2016, when he graduated high school, I joined the U.S. Army and went on 2 rotations where Naquan had text, called, and sent me care packages to keep me sane while I was 19 in another country. He has helped me the last 5 years with starting my business online to sell makeup. He created my entire website design. He helped push me through cosmetology school while I was freshly postpartum and going through a nasty divorce. I believe Naquan is a very positive person, not only to his friends, but he is considered an uncle to my son. He has supported my son as his nephew since birth when he was premature. He participates in birthday parties and provides gifts. When my son was diagnosed with speech delays, he motivated me to put him into all the therapies he attends today. I wholeheartedly believe Naquan deserves the bond due to his love for me as a friend and a sister. Jail isn't a place for Naquan, as I know his heart and the great person he has presented to me for the last 18 years. I am Ronisha Jackson, a retired disabled veteran, licensed cosmetologist in the state of Texas. I can be reached at here, and here.
All right.
She known him since they was in the 5th grade. I wonder, did she put commentary on his books when he was locked up at 12?
When you look at me, what do you see?
Here we go, baby, with Angela Stankin. Here's Angela Stanton's character with this letter.
This was March 8th of 2026. To whom it may concern. Baby, this type professionally, girl. We got the proper damn space and the grammar, girl. It did its job, girl. Because the mole probably helped. To whom it may concern. My name is Angela Staten King. I am a national best-selling author, criminal justice reform advocate, and founder of Annie's Angie House, a nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting mothers and families in crisis. My work has focused for years on justice, redemption, and restoring families. I am writing this letter in support of Mr. Naquan Palmer, whom I have known for quite some time. During the time that I have known Mr. Palmer, I have found him to be a respectful, intelligent, and outspoken young man who is not afraid to express his emotions. In my interactions with him, he has demonstrated strong character and a willingness to stand up for what he believes. The current situation involving Mr. Palmer appears to stem largely from online disputes and public commentary. In today's environment, social media disagreements can easily escalate and be mischaracterized. I would also like to note that my perspective comes from personal experience. The individual who filed the complaint against Mr. Palmer, known publicly as T.S. Madison, has personally targeted me in the past. I've had experienced attacks on my character, efforts to discredit me publicly, and attempts to have my social media platforms removed. I have witnessed firsthand how this individual uses their platform to publicly attack and intimidate others because they was misgendering, so we ain't gonna do that. Because of my experiences, I understand how public conflicts like this can unfold and how narratives can be shaped in ways that do not always reflect the full story. Based on what I know of Mr. Palmer, I do not believe he poses any threat to anyone. In my experience, he has simply expressed his opinions in the same public arena where many others regularly do the same. In terms of temperament, Mr. Palmer has always been respectful in his interactions with me and others. I have never known him to be violent or dangerous in any way, says the woman who was handcuffed. Okay. For these reasons, I believe Mr. Palmer should be granted bond. He deserves the opportunity to address this matter while remaining with his family and continuing his responsibilities while the legal process moves forward, even though his family was not there. Thank you for your time and consideration. Respectfully, Angela Staten King, girl. And it's a shame to the last name.
Poetic Justice says, girl, you started talking to the nigga in October. Shut up.
What happened?
She started talking to that man in fucking October. She don't even know that motherfucking man. Now, this next motherfucker, Michael Thompson, is the motherfucker who Naquan either lives with or is renting from because they share the same address. It says, I have known Naquan for about 5 years, and during that time, he has been a good friend and someone I've known to be responsible and dependable, and yet he's in jail. So where the fuck? How y'all paying rent? How responsible? To leave you with all the motherfucking utilities. In all the years, he has consistently worked hard to improve his life and then threw it all away. How about that? Quan has always shown reliability, respect for others, and yet was found guilty for doing the complete opposite, and a strong sense of responsibility. Based on my experience with him, I believe he is a good person who cares about his future and the people around him. And keep reading. I am a retired educator. Oh, that's so unfortunate, baby. With 38 years of teaching experience, and yet you can't see that this bitch can't be taught nothing. I continue to work part-time as an instructor and yet couldn't instruct his ass to act right. For Dalton State College at the local mountain campus, when I'm not working, I volunteer at Gilmer County Food Pantry. I've been volunteering at the food pantry since 2010. I am very impressed by how Naquan continues to learn and improve on himself on dealing with stressful situations. These people, the judge must be thinking that all these motherfuckers are mental cases too, because birds of a feather do bob around in a padded room together. Oh my God. Oh yes, they do. I'm impressed by how Naquan continues to learn and improve himself on dealing with stressful situations in a positive way. Mr. Palmer is the type of individual who will enhance any community he chooses to call home. He will have a positive effect on society. This is evident in his actions and concern for helping people. I'm confident that he will continue to dedicate himself to making meaningful and lasting impact in the communities where he lives, always striving to improve the environment and the lives of the people that he encounters. Yes, by being not in those communities is his best contribution. Michael Thompson. The rest is just a petition for the stalking order, all the things that we know. And it just shows you what T.S. Madison filled out. We already been through that in a previous live stream. And here we are. Any thoughts?
Again, let this be a cautionary tale on the importance of, first of all, loving yourself and finding out your worth. Naquan Palmer, the DL Whisperer, does not love himself. He is an individual that almost lost his damn life from somebody he was fucking around with. And instead of healing from that, he has turned around and tried to make money off of that, because now with all of the queer phobia and transphobia from a lot of biological women, it's funny that y'all saying all this shit, but now all of a sudden you're making TikTok stories about your nigga possibly being something other than heterosexual. And didn't T.S. Madison say that transphobia, queer phobia affects all of us, how we are all in this together, whether you want to or not? So the best thing that I think that should happen is for people to start being honest and to heal. Whatever you believe about T.S. Madison, you can believe, but your belief ain't stopping her fucking reality. Maybe if some people took that level of energy that they put on other people and apply it to themselves, then maybe God will start blessing their asses as opposed to judging other people on how God blessed them, biatches. Damn. And also, too, for our queer brothers and sisters, for our trans sisters, make sure you are protecting yourself. Now, I am grateful that the law is doing its fucking job in reference to this, and despite us being in the regime that we're in. And shout out to T.S. Madison doing what she needed to do in order to solidify this. And I'm like, I don't understand why people are confused. Do y'all not remember the story of time about how her job fired her ass and she was able to get paid, girl, while eating bonbons at the house and telling motherfuckers to put Big Joe on the phone as he was escorting other bitches out? Girl, can you put them on the phone? I want to talk. Where's Big Joe? Y'all might want to leave her alone. Y'all might want to leave her alone, girl. Y'all might want to start asking Miss Mamas, girl, how do you do this? How did you manifest this? Despite the way that life was set up for you, and instead of you succumbing to it, when there were plenty of times that she could have lost her fucking life, she kept believing in what? Herself. And now she is manifesting and receiving all of the blessings that God has for her and more. And it's with titties at the top and zick at the bottom, and it don't matter, because at the end of the day, the thing that is the most important is your energy. Your energy. And Miss Madison has it. And hopefully, Naquan Palmer, as you're going to be in prison, hopefully you can sit down and learn about what you need to learn for yourself. Because again, this could have went in a whole different direction. And we ain't even talking about T.S. Madison. There are people out here that low-key want to put their motherfucking hands on you and will be crazy enough and more delusional than you to actually do it. So don't play that game about who can't be touched, because somebody can also touch you as well. You're not exempt. And yeah, but how did y'all enjoy the read through? Shout out to y'all sitting here with us reading this. Shout out to Black people reading. For us to not have read through it, well, not for me, the entire thing, I think we did pretty good as far as doing a cold read of this. So what do y'all think? How do y'all feel? And y'all can definitely bless us in the Cash App, $ Consciouztv, girl. If you want it for Bubs, put down there, this is for Bubs, girl, or hit me up on my PayPal, paypal.me/Bubs, the guy, girl. We read a whole thing for y'all. Entertaining and all, girl.
164 pages. And they got emotions.
Baby.
They got acting.
What?
I mean, we
bloopers.
Did. And mind you, I already was live earlier, giving them the business. And then we secured a whole exclusive for today with the Okra Project. And I mean, come on. The Kangs are kanging. Folks over there wearing y'all out, girl, with a Blair bitch and Blair Witch and a Mirror Honey.
Baby, you definitely have to play that Larry Reid song, because I think I'm Blessed This Year song. That's really hitting. That's really hitting. It's really hitting. We're gonna have to definitely hear that. Baby, I'm blessed this year.
Thanks to your obedience and my instructions.
Oh Lord, well,
hey. Hey, the Christ said, honey, the key to unlocking the heavens is obedience. Yes. Obedience leads to expedience. Yes. So this was the read, child. I am through. Naquan Palmer, and you heard it in the judge's own words, will remain locked the hell up because of his own goddamn words, and they have no rush to give him a particular court date because he was a nobody out here, and he cleared nobody ass in there, and he waived his right to a speedy trial, and it never made any sense for him to take to waive his right to begin with. It was just literally stupid. I just do not really get why he waived his right and why he would not have taken a plea deal. But then again, as we hear about some of the details of his childhood in Natasha K interview, horrendous childhood, homelessness, poverty, SA, incest going on, then to hear in the transcripts about how troubled he was as a youth, and how obviously he's a troubled adult. The fact that he actually thought he had a chance at trial means that he literally has not internalized that he has broken the law. Like it's literally not clear. Like he has not broken the law. He hasn't done anything wrong. And that delusion is what made him waive his right. And to actually think that despite the evidence, despite what he knows he has made available to the world to see, and to justify this TPO and to justify these criminal charges in his mind. And we heard it through his own bullshit in court when he said to the judge, he said, "So you telling me, Judge, that basically I can't do anything? I basically can't get jiggy with it if a bitch is talking about me on the internet?" And it just was like, yeah, no, bitch, you can't break the law because somebody's talking about you on the internet. So he's literally delusional. And this is actually one of the best examples of the criminal justice system actually understanding the goddamn assignment. Because this is somebody who absolutely deserves to be locked the fuck up. And we know that he's not going to last long on the outside because he doesn't have the mental health, and doesn't have the mental fortitude, nor the self-restraint or self-discipline to actually keep those intrusive thoughts at bay. He's too narcissistic, egotistical, and mentally ill to resist the thoughts that are going to tempt him to get onto T.S. Madison because he's now had a narcissistic injury as a result of being humbled by her ass, and everything in him is going to want to be on his get back shit. And that's only going to not work in his favor, as we can already see. We can see that T.S. Madison is blessed and highly favored and a very anointed woman.
Yes.
And her God has spoken for her, bitch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And will continue to. And so what he doesn't know is that him sitting there without access to social media, without access to just freedom and liberty, actually is what's preserving his life. Because there's no telling what type of bullshit he would have been into by now that would have already put his ass back in prison or put his ass under one.
Hello?
He needs to be institutionalized. And T.S. Madison's attorneys need to fight to strip him of his social media right, because he's clearly acting irresponsibly. And a part of what's leading to that irresponsibility is social media. Every TPO he has against him, from Daily Dose to Dominique Morgan to T.S. Madison, all has one common denominator. And what is that?
Him.
Not only just him, but his irresponsible usage of the internet. Without the internet, none of this can happen. He doesn't have an incentive. He doesn't have a motivation. He doesn't have an audience to compel him. He's not able to indulge in these parasocial lunacies and attachments, and he's not able to be empowered to sacrifice himself for a click in the motherfucking view, because guess where all them raggedy assholes who follow him went after he went to jail? To follow the next motherfucker, the next entertaining motherfucker. Because life goes to fuck on. And anybody would be goofy as fuck on this motherfucker to put their actual livelihood at motherfucking risk for what, bitch? To ultimately be forgotten? Because all these motherfuckers gonna do is find somebody else to shuck and jive on their behalf and entertain them, girl, once you gone. The clock don't stop, baby. It ticks tock. So he needs to be institutionalized, and his raggedy, ugly ass need to have his internet privileges revoked. That has happened. Judges have banned people from the internet. Between all these fucking TPOs and all this persistency and all of these mental health issues and how long his criminal record goes back to, bitch. 12? And stalking and committing simple battery and shit. Are you okay? No, you're not. So from Gilmer County to a 5150 and then to a mental asylum. Never to be seen again. Let him play checkers with some 80-year-old who still identifies as 2. And put his orange juice in a sippy cup. And put him in that 2-piece, bitch. Give him a roommate, a teddy bear, and a goddamn sweater to knit. And be on with it already. Because this doesn't get any better without treating the causation. And there's going to be nobody to really enforce that in the outward world. The courts are his only help. They're his only help and his only hope. T.S. Madison and her family, and even Dominique Morgan and Daddy Dose, they deserve to have a sense of peace and freedom. They don't know this delusional ass bitch. They haven't done anything to deserve this. And the fact that he's been willing to lose his shit over people who's passed by air he's never even smelled. Dizzy. High level dizziness. This is high fashion dizzy, girl. This is dizzy supreme. So I hope Maddie and all them press the gas so the whole motherfucking book's bitch strip his ass down to organic material. Strip his ass down to the point that, girl, all the authorities got left, bitch, is something they can actually pack into a fucking evidence box. And click, click, throw the key away. Because this person is sick. They're walking around with untreated mental illness and a personality fucking disorder. And what's happening is his collective karma, girl, that got Nancy ass binded the fuck up. Bind it up, girl. You have been restricted, bitch, and bound unto the nooks and crevices of your own soul, bitch. You have been restrained by the spirits, girl. And you got T.S. Madison to thank for it. You fucked around and fucked with the right one, bitch. And Sabrina, the transgender witch, bitch, poof, be gone your motherfucking ass. And now you in there going through hell when you had a chance to be out here in heaven. Gathered and dusted. Bitch been sharpened down to a point. To a tippity point. So shout out to T.S. Madison, baby. Shout out to Daily Dose of D. Shout out to Dominique Morgan Grill. Shout out to them for putting that work on his motherfucking ass. Because when you play silly games, you gonna win silly motherfucking prizes.
Here you go.
You see what happened to Dominique, girl? You see how two things can be true at once, bitch? You could be a victim and a villain, bitch, all at the same goddamn time.
Hello?
That's how interesting life is, girl. Multiple things can be true all at once. Commas for everybody.
But at the end of the day, it's going to always be what? True. It's going to be true. So let the truth ring.
That's the common denominator.
Let the truth ring.
It's the motherfucking truth. We're going to get out of here. Girl, we busted it down, Bubs. Tell these folks where they can find you at on the social medias.
Yes, you can find me here, of course, on YouTube, Bubs the God, Instagram, Bubs the God. Follow my photography page, Media by Bubs. And yeah, that's where I'm at. Glad to be here. Shout out to the Conscious crew. And also check out the link in the comment section. I put the link for my video essay on. Yeah, let me do it one more time. Yeah.
Did you also put in the chat your Instagram page?
No, I didn't. Let me do that right now.
And once again, you guys make sure you subscribe to the Consciouztv. Thumbs up, tell a friend of a friend, girl. We got a whole day today. All right. So make sure your notifications on, girl. We give it to you, honey. Y'all bless the kings. We do it for y'all. Y'all do it for us. And we do it for each other. We was in here, girl, 300 plus solid for almost 4 damn hours, girl. Pulling in the old graveyard shift. Okay, this is Bubs Links. Hey, tick for tat. Shout out to South Africa, honey. I may have to have you up here to get into the motherland and how your experience is uprooting from the Americas back to the home of civilization, the crater of life. But blessed to you, Nurse Moonshot. Blessed to you, babes. Okay, this is also Bub's IG. Make sure you guys subscribe to this photography. If you guys are, tell them what area they are in to get a hold of your services if they're potentially in a surrounding area.
Oh, if so, Indiana and Detroit, because I do commute to between those places and stuff like that. So just let me know in advance and I can work some stuff out.
On period.
So,
On period. Where y'all got all the links, baby. We love y'all and we bid y'all a farewell and we'll see y'all later. Peace.